Seagulls flying overhead, and owls down in the sand. Little crabs walking over our legs, and we were together just like lovers should have been. Like the changing tides, you have changed your mind, and now you are no longer mine. Last summer, you were holding my hand. Last summer, you were laying in my bed. Last summer, we were more than just friends. But that was last summer. That was last summer. I miss the salt in my hair, and I miss your emerald stare, and I wish you were still here in your red sundress, watching the sunset by the pier. In your red sundress, watching the sunset by the pier. Last summer, you were holding my hand. Last summer, you were laying in my bed. Last summer, we were more than just friends. But that was last summer. That was last summer. That was last summer. That was last summer. Like the changing tides, you have changed your mind. Now you are no longer mine. With tears in my eyes, I recall all the times when I had you by my side. Last summer, you were holding my hand. wanna be a bad man? Yes, you do. Do you wanna taste sweet salvation underneath the summer moon? Do you need another hand now? Yes, you do. Go see Miss Josie down on Columbus Avenue. Down in the city, there's a place that never sleeps. You can see it all up past 57th Street. Music is hot and the drinking there's free. It'll turn you upside down before you count to three. One, you're looking for a helping hand. Two, you need a friendly face. Three, feeling good you can barely stand. You're falling all over the place. One, you're looking for a helping hand. Two, you need a friendly face. Three, feeling good you can barely stand. You're falling all over the place. You own it, they got it, they flown it, you bought it. Ow! Do you wanna be a bad man? Yes, you do. Do you wanna taste sweet salvation underneath the summer moon? Do you need another hand now? Yes, you do. Go see Miss Josie down on Columbus Avenue. Columbus Avenue. Ha! Go see Miss.
Oh, esport. You and I have come a long way. It was such humble beginnings. As we gathered in small groups, we were professionals right from the start. Passionate, organized, and ready to rumble. We dreamed big, and surely enough, our parents supported us at every step of the way. Didn't they? Fired up by all this love, it wasn't long until we caught the scent of competition. To be honest with you, it wasn't always that easy. Joe here, he had to take on 2 side jobs to afford playing professionally. It's gonna get better, Joe. Fist bump. Some of you dared to not even call this a sport. And look where we are today. An endless stream of esports events every year. Bet you didn't see that coming, Mom and Dad. And you know what? We have been with you every single step of the way.
Dream of working with people you watch on screen. Exclusive esports opportunities handpicked just for you. Candidate profile to raise above competition. Let 10GG handle routines. Make a step towards your dream today.
The last 12 days have led up to this. A best of 5 grand finals is down to only 2 teams here at the Pinnacle Cup Malta Vibes for the 4th iteration of our tournament here. And I'm Eric Freak, joining me is Kips. We're going to be taking you through the best of 5 grand final action between Team Tickles and Amiga Gaming. Kips, how excited are you? I want to hear your excited voice.
Like what scale? What are we talking, 1 to 10? Are we talking like you know, I know,
Not
resident
that
sleeper
excited.
champ.
Not that excited to extremely excited.
Well, let's say very excited. Like extremely would be if we had like I don't know, I got to cast OG versus Game and Gladiators or something like that. That is yeah. I'm sorry. It's like but this is probably one of the second best things you can get, especially right now in a run up to TI. You get the highest quality that you can get. And Team Tickles, as far as I'm concerned, are going to probably surprise a couple of people with how well they're going to stand up versus Namiga Gaming. All right,
Maybe
Harry?
me. Maybe me. You and me have talked yesterday. I called it 3-1 for Amiga when we talked before we got ourselves into the live show. I thought maybe even 3-0 for Amiga, but you are definitely on the Team Tickle side here. But second best, I don't think you should be using that word with Team Tickles, as they were the runner-up of the previous Malta Vibes tournament. So I'm hoping you weren't insinuating anything from that one, but I have my doubts, Kips.
I am always insinuating, but that's supposed to be for the viewers to find out, not for you to point like a really big sign like, hey, Kips doesn't mean what she says, guys. Let them figure it out. I'm sure some of them will take a lot of fun in that.
I was just showing off as how I understand my co-caster. I'm so cool. Anyways, though, let's see our players. That's what we're here for. We're here for them. So the rosters of the teams will be on our screen, and let's see who are gonna be the 10 amazing players that are gonna be entertaining us throughout this grand finals. Team Tickles, Shad, Atlantic, Boom, Norman, and Ducalis. These are the boys that Kips currently, before game number one, believes that they're gonna win. Just kidding, of course. They are amazing players, Kips. And how what do you think the score is gonna be? 3-2 for Tickles, 3-1
I
for
think
Tickles.
3-2. Yes. Like
Oh,
I have no doubts that Namiga is an absolutely formidable opponent, and I don't have nearly your confidence to say that this is going to be a sweep in the other direction. So no, I will just be trusting these guys to bring the fight and for this entire final to go as far as it can go.
yeah, I haven't cast a full best of 5 for quite some time. So it would be fun to see for sure. But let's see their opponents, the guys that I slightly believe more in, as Yolnit, Malrine, Zabe, Hellscream, and Pantomime. They did come to this point in the tournament. They have lost only one game, only one map, Gibbs, and that was against Level Up, who, I mean, this team Level Up, they always take a game from people. It's just what happens. They did take a game from Team Tickles as well, so it is a pretty big one. Plus, also what I wanted to point out, since you think that this is gonna be close, Namiga did crush Team Tickles with a 2-0 already in the group stage.
That's just a group stage, man. That's when people are just warming up. This is different.
True. Also, one interesting fact, Mind Control was standing in for Boom in that series. I remember I was casting it. I can't really say that Mind Control contributed too much there. I think that obviously it wasn't a problem in him, but the team couldn't adjust to what he was wanting to do. They just looked disconnected. That's kind of my feel of the game when I was watching it.
I thought for a second there that you were flaming Mind Control, and I'm like, hello? In my house? Under my roof?
Okay, I have been evicted, guys. It's over. I have nowhere else left to go because, well, I did try to understand you in a negative way a couple of times, so I'm completely fine with you trying to twist my words in a negative way as well. That's completely fine. Before we get ourselves into the draft and the grand finals in general, there was a slight patch. Any big changes that you saw? Do you think teams are going to be reacting to the patch all that much, or are these just minimal changes that won't really be impacting the draft at all?
I mean, the first thing that you look at is our lady and savior, the Phantom Assassin, right? And I think with the fact that sure she gets a little less crit chance, that's okay. It's a little easier to spot her once she comes out of her blur. Those are certainly necessary changes. But the other thing that was really necessary to change was to do something about the black and white full refresh that you get when you get a kill with the Aghanim Scepter, and that has just not been touched at all. And I think that was the crux of her critical mass, right? She kills somebody, full refresh, gets to stalk around again and do it again, constantly striking from the shadows. And that, as far as I'm concerned, I think that this was not enough, and we're going to see her again.
Okay, I mean, my biggest complaint yesterday was about she's standing right next to you and she's still in a blur. And they did nerf that slightly, so instead of needing to get as close as 400 range, now it's 500. And I think if you play PA, you're definitely gonna feel it, right? As you won't have it in your fingers how close you can actually get to the enemies. So I'm fine with that. They did nerf the Sven slightly, so definitely a couple of touches there on the heroes that have been overpicked currently. But that's about it. Is this the patch that we were looking for before TI to balance things out?
I don't know. I think we're going to find out partially here because yeah, this meta was getting a little stale. Like Brewmaster needed to get touched, for example. Pangolier has gotten a little bit of more slaps with the nerf stick as he deserved. Those are all, I think, necessary quality of life changes. But it's very hard to do a patch just before TI where you're fixing the problems in the right way without creating new ones. Because if you put a really big balance patch out right now, you're going to have overlooked something. Something
Yep.
is going to be the next broken thing, and whichever team figures it out first is going to win TI with that, which seems a little unfair. So I think they're erring on the side of caution here.
Okay. I also like the small balances more because they actually give the time for the community to test it out, and then Val, Strog, or whoever can actually react to it properly and make it as balanced as possible. To be honest, I thought the 734 patch is gonna take longer to get to a decent point balance wise, but I think we're currently in a good position. I would like a little bit more versatility in terms of carries in general,
Yes.
but other than that, I'm pretty happy with how things are at the moment. But looking at Namiga and Tickles, these two teams, they have played the group stage. They were both in the same group, being a group B. We know a lot of the drafts that they've played, a lot of the heroes that they prefer. Anything in particular that you think is getting banned 100%?
I mean, that Atlantic Dazzle, the hero itself has not been touched in the patch, so that should be just as strong as it was before. And I think if you're an Amiga, you're going to try to beat it once just because you did see Bait do that. There were some clear weak spots about the entire draft hinging on the Dazzle standing in the middle, keeping everyone alive, on not necessarily being all that tough to take down himself. So maybe Namiga is going to try it once, but if that doesn't work, I'd say that you don't try to face that again. And I would also be very surprised if we got to see ads pick up his Kunkka as well. I think in general his hero pool is still very worthy of targeting.
There was a slight nerf on the Kunkka from the Torrent AoE. Level 20 talent, it got decreased from plus 80 to plus 65. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a huge area when you use the
Yes.
Torrent Storm in general. So I'm
If you've ever done the calculations on like an extra large pizza versus just a large one, you know how much extra space is missing there. And if you haven't, there's some memes about this. Go look it up.
okay. Makes I guess it makes sense, Oh, we only have this is a big pizza, this is a huge pizza, and this is a gigantic pizza, and then you see that there is a huge difference
Yes.
in the quantity and in the size in general between just a couple of centimeters, especially when you go further and further away. But we're waiting for one more player to enter here. There might be some draft penalties coming in. We're hoping that that does not happen in the end, as we would want everybody to be at their strongest, but that doesn't, I don't know, hopefully it does not happen at all.
Yeah. We had some connection issues yesterday as well. Yesterday was in general a very cursed day for professional Dota 2, I think. So I'm just hoping that we got all of the curses out of the way. You know, everybody did their DDoS attacks. They're out of Bitcoin right now, and they're just going to have to play the full game. Shad's Windows 17 is at the ready after
Yeah.
updating all night.
Hopefully he made everything right there. That was one of the longest. And this is the thing. Windows Update, it's never long until you need to hurry as and be there as fast as possible. That's just the case, right? I know whenever I update Windows, it takes maybe a couple of minutes max, but God forbid I need to be playing Dota. I need to be in a tournament, in a lobby. GG.
Yeah.
It's over. There's no way you're getting there in time. So we did talk about the Xantix heroes, but let's talk about the carries here a bit. Yulnit, he's the new guy for Namiga, even though this guy has been in the scene now for some time. I want to say, how do you look at that matchup, Shad versus Yulnit? Do you think Shad and his experience definitely overshadowed the new guy?
I mean, Onit has been around. I want to say, has he been around for longer than Shad? Just not with such like a strong upward tendency. Because we've had Shad around for what, like 3 years now, and that's been basically it. So I'm sure that Chad's got some more higher tier experience than him, but as far as like being around in the scene goes, like as far as I recall, it's not even that big of a difference. So I'd say that the biggest problem here for Onit is that if you look at how much time the team has had to get used to him, like Violent was on this squad before, up until literally right before this tournament. Um, that you're taking the place of somebody else, whereas the other side of Team Tickles was formed around and with Shad, which is a bit of a different situation to be in as a carry.
Do you think Yulnit actually got himself into the team? Did he adapt nicely? Are you happy with this performance in general when it comes to working with the team? Obviously, Namiga are crushing everybody, but maybe with some other carry that would have happened as well. But when you look at how he is playing with the team, do you like
Yeah,
it? Do you think it's a good
he
move?
looks so chill, man. And
Okay.
at least in the matches that I've seen, what you want out of a carry is somebody who's not panicking to get shit done, not overplaying, but not too passive either, like striking the right balance. This guy, his positioning is very forward, but he really doesn't get pressed to do anything if he doesn't need to. And I do think that his experience from Geek Fam and his deep run in the TI qualifiers have something to do with that. So a very high quality addition to an Amiga as far as that goes. Like if you wanted to replace Violent, yeah, this is a good guy.
Okay, we use this little conversation of ours to kind of put the energy down, but now we're gonna be rising it up again as the draft is ready and the grand finals officially starts. Let's get into it. Miga versus
Finally
Team
draft.
Tickles. Yeah, look at the bands. We actually wanted to allow our viewers to cook a little bit, to think that the draft isn't starting, but it is here. It is now. Namiga, their reserve time hit a little bit there. One of their players was late to the lobby, but yeah, nothing too big there, as everybody was already there, ready. Other than that one player, we're of course not going to be pointing fingers. As any surprise bands?
Honestly, no, I enjoy how everybody's just targeting down their opponent's mid-hero specific hero pool. As yeah, several ad zeros going here in Amiga. Are they thinking about the Kunkai? You can probably wait with that a little bit. And then the Razor Pangolier. No, there he goes.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say they haven't picked this even once in the tournament so far, but I'm checking it really quickly as I do remember one Pugna pick, but is it this tournament or is it Malta Vibes 3? I'm not sure. Yep, Namiga, they seem to not have played this.
Yeah, and I think we've seen it here and there on the kind of lineups that really like to run Pugna as a mana battery, but that's not actually what has just gotten patched for him. Because what's been improved is Pugna's ability to take down buildings, 65% damage on the building damage for Nether Blast now instead of 50, and he's got more move slow and cast range on Decrepify. So his, let's say that just the all-round ability of his kit has been improved, and he is not just a battery anymore, or at least Nemiga probably doesn't think so. But still, you'd think that they would be playing something like a Storm with this, right? Right.
They did play it versus Yellow Submarine, and they didn't have anything of the sort. They had a mid shaker, an offlane Beastmaster, and a Keri Muerta with the position 5 Vengeful Spirit. So that is the type of lineup that they played with Pugna. So they pretty much used the Pugna for pushing purposes, getting some hate on it purposes, and that's kind of about it. They were playing versus the Naga Siren, so I guess with the shard you would be able to deal with illusions quite well as well.
Yes. That is great utility, and that is also a good, in general, way to threaten Shad's hero pool, I think, because he does like himself, especially some Terrorblade.
Yeah, that the Terrorblade suffers versus the Pugna in lane throughout the game. You hate playing versus the Crep. You do not buy a Nullifier naturally. It's just the way that the hero is played, and you're always kind of susceptible to magical damage, even when you get a lot of those stats items. It's still something that annoys you quite a lot. And speaking of, the Terrorblade only gets banned out. Team Tickles, they get themselves a Weaver this hero. We saw it yesterday, played by Hellscream from Nemiga. And it did receive a slight buff this morning as well. So definitely going to be looking a little bit tougher as well.
Yeah, and that is after we saw Hellscream use it to its full potential. You could be forgiven yesterday for thinking that he was a core Weaver and not a position 4. He was definitely doing a majority of the damage, very good at scouting out his opponent. Of course, he was up first Terrorblade, which makes this interesting, right? Team Tickles banning out the TB in spite of having a Weaver possibly support on their team right now.
Chikuchi slightly more damage, and Geminate Attack slightly more damage. Nothing too significant, nothing too crazy, right? Like Geminate Attack 5 damage on the highest level. It's not that big of a deal. But when you factor in the shard and the way it works, it is pretty cool. For those people that don't know, if you go with the Shikuchi through somebody, you, let's say, go through 3 heroes, you get out of the Shikuchi, the Geminate Attack flies towards them. Not double attack, but just the added Geminate Attack with more damage.
And we go Rubik now. I mean, Rubik loves himself to steal a Shikuchi, and he also definitely enjoys grabbing the Beastmaster Roar, which is something that is fairly easy to steal.
Let's say you're a Rubik with a shard, you go through everybody with the Shikuchi, do you attack them? Because you do not have a Geminate attack. I would assume yes, but we'll be finding out. So with the Spugna first pick now, and the Rubik being picked up, considering that it was Hellscream who played the Pugna last time when Amiga used this hero, either this is a 5 Rubik, maybe Pantomime is going for the Pugna, but there is also a good chance that it might be a Melrine Pugna. It does seem like his type of a hero.
Yeah, it does, doesn't he? And with all of the heroes that have been banned out currently, we would be looking at a little bit of the side of his hero pool as opposed to like the main part. Of course, you know, we could always get hit with a Timberlast pick. That is always a possibility. But if I look at Namiga's draft right now, I would not want to be a physical damage dealer during this game whatsoever. Between the damage reduction of the Tide and the Rubik, as well as just straight up the Decrep from the Pugna, like Phantom Assassin has not even been touched in the bans yet, and we are nearing the end of the draft right now. Is neither of these teams believing in her enough? I mean, Namiga would be decently happy to take her on with this lineup, I think.
Maybe that was the idea. Pick everything and then hope the Team Tickles are going to be going for the PA. The Earth Spirit does come out. I really like this. This is most likely going to be a mid laner if we assume that the Clockwork and the Weaver are going to be supports, and I think that's pretty safe to say. Though it could be a Clockwork 5 and a Weaver 1. It is definitely not out of the question. The Earth Spirit could still be a 4. Though if a Pugna is a core or whatever, the Earth Spirit and the Ember Spirit, both of these heroes deal well with the hero in the later portions of the game. So I would like to see this Earth Spirit as a core.
And now we go Slark for Nemiga. So they have decided that whatever physical damage dealer the enemy gets, their Slark is going to be able to take it down. You're already not going to want to play an Illusion Hero necessarily because of the Pugna, unless Phantom Lancer, I guess.
I still wouldn't like it. You're versus a Tide
No,
Rubik's Lark. It would be a tough PL game. Of course, if you would get as far
but
as the PL that we saw yesterday, sure, but
yes,
it's no guarantee.
absolutely not. Still taking out that Naga though, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, it feels like with this last pick carry, Team Tickles have a lot of things to consider between the damage reduction and the matchup with the Slark versus the fact that the Pugna is always going to be there with saves. I guess that you'd be looking at a mixed damage type of carry, but apart from Gyrocopter, who have we seen recently?
Not a lot of heroes. I would approach this different if I was Team Tickles. I'd pick like an Ursa or a Monkey King to make sure that I win the lane versus the Tide. Even though those heroes are naturally not that good versus the Slark, you have the Earth Spirit Clockwork Weaver. That's a lot of aggression early on. You have a Beastmaster
Yes.
for taking down towers. So if you crush the lanes and take a couple of Roches to go your way, you can overtake the map super fast, get those tier 2s down, and start from there and then just try to win a game in any way possible. Considering you have a Clockwork, you have the Earth Spirit, you can always catch that one extra hero and then go for the push.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct with that. The amount of reach and chase that Team Tickles have right now is phenomenal, and you could pick just something that capitalizes on that.
Seeker was a good ban though. Seeker would have been solid in the lane versus the Tide. Pugna doesn't like playing versus the Seeker as the Blood Right is way too huge of an area for a silence. And the Slark doesn't like playing versus the hero either. You would have some issues with objectives in general, but that's where the Beastmaster and the Weaver come in.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, you're completely right. That would have been a good pick. Well, you know what?
Two strength heroes and a universal one. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a pretty good Timbersaw game.
it is, and I mean, I said it all the way at the start of the draft. This is Maureen. He can always hit you with the Timber Saw at the end.
Yeah, only problem I have with Nemiga is a little bit lacking in the stun department, and Team Tickles are very, very mobile. But this is where the burst damage from the Timbersaw comes in. Sometimes you surprise your enemies so much that they just blow up, and I think that is going to be something that Team Tickles have to be wary of.
Yeah, and one of the other things is that a Timbersaw can, of course, chase out enough to be like, oh, you just kited me because I don't have a stun? Well, okay, I will just run after you. That's fine. I go faster.
If only Team Tickles had some damage for the Chrono, I'd
Well-
like avoid, but it's gonna be a Luna. Okay, so that's a mixture of magical and physical damage that you wanted to see. Definitely
Yeah, and I
fits
was
in that
even
category.
looking at her. I was looking at her like Luna. I was like, nah, nobody plays Luna. Come on, but she has the tempo as well, right? Because these are three. Tidehunter's not necessarily a slow core, but he does take a while to properly gear up. And as long as you make sure that you have his ult on cooldown, you can do whatever you want with that Luna and the Beastmaster. So they certainly have the tools to apply early pressure to Nemiga.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons to pick this Luna, really. First, you aren't gonna be on the back foot during nighttime. You have your night vision hero. You have a night vision hero of your own. You are very good at canceling out the Tidehunter's Meteor Hammer from afar as you have the Lucent Beam. You're a mixture of physical and magical damage, which deals pretty good versus the Pugna and the Timbersaw alike. I think on paper, like textbook, this is a perfect pick. It's only a question how strong can the Luna actually be, and considering that we haven't seen much of her, it's very hard to tell.
It is, yeah, especially because we used to see the Luna versus Timbersaw matchup a couple of patches ago in lane where there were Luna players that insisted that they could beat the Timbersaw, but it really required a lot of work from the supports as well. And otherwise, the Luna actually got, I don't want to say shafted, but that the Luna's often got a hard time in the lane. So that is something that has now changed. Of course, the Timbersaw's armor isn't what it used to be. Luna just got buffed a little bit with a little less damage reduction on the bounce of her glaives, which might come in, and but she's with a clockwork, which is I'm not sure how much they can do versus. Oh, and I'm saying up first Timbersaw. Ha, she's up first a Tide. Never mind.
Nah, she's up
That's a much
versus a
better
Tide.
matchup.
Yeah, much better one, but we'll see how they're gonna be doing inside of the game and the grand finals, game 1. It is gonna be here right now. As game 1 Kips, it's an interesting draft from both teams, and reading the
Yeah.
patch, it seems to have changed a lot. Or Team Tickles and Amiga, they've just prepared for each other. Any favorites now that you've seen the heroes? Can you go versus the Malrine Timbersaw?
Oh, that is always a tough question, isn't it? Yes, but the time pressure is on Team Tickles. We've seen Tickles play faster, more aggressive Dota as far as their playstyle in this tournament has gone swift and to the point, and that's exactly how you need to play. But these are some hard to kill cores that you're going up against. So I want to call this draft a 50-50, but there's a little hope in there. A little.
I'm leaning a little bit towards the Amiga, but I feel like if Team Tickles can slow down the advancement of the Tide early on and the destruction of those towers, which they do have capabilities to
Yes.
do so, I think they should be fine, right? But the thing is, if you don't do it, it is gonna be a huge problem. Already they're putting some pain onto Zibe, and I think that is a great way to start the laning phase with Zibe not being that strong, as you want to slow him down as much as possible. But on the other hand, Amiga, they're in their comfort zone, and whenever I see a Slark in a game where he has a core that does massive amounts of burst, and that is exactly what the Timbersaw does, I always favor these lineups, because Timbersaw, he murders somebody at the start of the fight, and well, then suddenly the Slark can do whatever he wants.
Yep, exactly. And he also likes having somebody else that they're going to focus on at the start of the fight while you are going to grab yourself some stacks. That would also be very nice. And of course, there is relatively little that can damage him and or shove him out of his potential shadow dance, as well as the depth shroud. So that's all good for him. And of course, Malrine is a matchup versus a melee strength hero, which is also nice. So I do see a lot of ups for Namiga here.
Yep. I'm very curious about this bottom lane, though. That is the one that I'm uncertain of. Pugna can be very annoying, as she does have a solid amount of range and a solid amount of harass as well. So overall, I see the Slark suffering versus these two heroes, but I'm looking at Pantomim as the saving grace that he could turn this lane, maybe not in Slark's favor, but at least make sure that Yulnit comes out of it okay.
Yeah, the most important part here is to make sure that you secure the range creeps against all of the pushing of the Beastmaster. And, well,
They're going
get to deal some
forward.
damage.
Are they getting this kill? The blood grenade did connect. Pantomim going for it. He has so much movement speed. He gets the first blood unit. Use the sticks. Actually going for the creep there. Might cost him his life. Nope. He read it perfectly. Now even the Weaver could die as Pantomim. He's super fast. There is a sentry there in the vicinity. Narman, he has to run. He does have a Shikuchi now. And the Fairy Fire shouldn't be able to kill him. Actually, he does get it. Weaver, he
Doesn't
didn't
use it.
know. He didn't see that the blast was coming. And Pantomim gets a double.
That's huge right there, because this is the lane that I want to say the laning stage sort of hinged on. This one could go either way. Top's probably favorable for the Luna and the Clockwork, as this is a classic combination, isn't it?
They're fighting till death, though. That is a classic as well. Zibe, as soon as he used that anchor smash, the damage stopped kicking in. And even with the Lunar Blessing being only level 1, your damage isn't just that high. Shad, he is gonna be getting gushed as well, so no heals for you, my friend. As Tide is low, but the creeps are in a good position for him.
Very much in favor of that. No points in the Kraken Shell yet either, really relying on the damage reduction of that anchor smash to get him through there. And really, together with the Fate Bolt of the Rubik, I'm not too surprised. He's not afraid of the right-click damage of the enemy side at all. It's just the Lucent Beams as well as Battery Assault that can hurt him.
They're winning in CS, they're winning in kills as well. So Namiga doing really well here in the laning stage, especially Malrine. To be expected, roll from Azantic. He was thinking about getting the kick back, because Timbersaw only has 1 point in the reactive armor. He really would be in a world of hurt there, but he will be okay. And actually the one that is going to be in a world of hurt will be Azantic again, and Shad's Courier as well. Is the Tide dead?
Great Courier Slaughter. Yeah, if they find him. There's another loosened beam. It's some...
Look at how big he is. How can you miss him? What the hell are you doing? Okay, he'll turn around. He knows that he's dead. We'll give the kill to Shad. So, Team Tickles, they're going to get themselves on the board. They're not going to allow themselves to remain killless in the grand finals for more than 4 minutes. And they get themselves a kill. Finally, the Tidehunter, he was very low for an extended period of time. So I think he's going to be feeling a little bit better now that he returns to the lane.
Yep, we'll allow him to play up more, and that might even give us Rubik the opportunity to start looking towards that mid lane sometime soon. Once this wave is shoved out, Rubik gets some space to play. The Clockwork needs to stay with his Luna. And the lanes are not going well enough for Team Tickles right now.
Boom, almost getting pounced there. That would have been a lot of damage into him as well. He didn't go for the Call of the Wild Pantomime. Goes down. These supports in the bottom lane, they don't really want to be using these Fairy Fires, Healing Lotuses and such.
Well,
they're trying to get the most out of them, but it seems that both teams are not 100% focused here in Game 1.
yeah, either that or, you know, if your mana pool is empty, what's the point of living anyway for both of these? Just go to Fountain, get a new one.
Okay, Kips, I mean, we've already talked about the players, you know, people playing Dota and then having those tendencies to just go and kill themselves in the enemy tower. We don't want that. We want these guys to live. We want them to have a good time as well. Zibe, that lag for a second for everybody, but everything will be fine.
Yeah, I would much rather have this, let's call it the communist lag, where we all share it, instead of one guy having to, you know, run back to a LAN center again.
Our lag.
Yes.
Oh, they actually turn around onto Shad. He's gonna be losing so much damage. Fade Bolt and the Anchor Smash. You're not doing anything with the right clicks. The Blood Grenade was used there just to slow down the Khalis. And who is trapped with who? Well, Hellscream, he thought he was stronger, but he's actually going to be losing that fight. An Anchor Smash, he will be getting the kill. Connects onto Shad as well, meaning that Shad doesn't really have that much damage. But Zibe, he has no HP whatsoever. That Loosen Beam would kill him. He has to get himself away. Also, Yulnit on the other part of the map kills. Boom. So all in all, Namiga again come out as the victors of the all-around-the-map engagement.
They do. At the very least, Shad keeps on having his hopes of scaling fast alive in his top lane, but it's a shame that they are not stopping Jibe at the same time.
Pantomime is very much dead. He at least took the rune from Atlantic. It was 100% certain that Atlantic was going to be getting that rune if he just runs himself away. So in the end, his death was not in vain, but not necessary either. Well, either way, Team Tickles, they're ahead slightly in gold despite losing in CS, despite being even in kills. It's still decent for him.
Yep, it is. And now the question is, when is the Beastmaster factor going to kick in? He's right now got the Arcane boost helping to keep the Sakuchi damage rolling in from Narman, but all of their harass hasn't actually really led to Olnit slowing down. He is halfway to level 6, and once that happens, it's going to be very hard for Beastmaster to kick him out, and they're going to need the Helm of the Dominator to do that most likely.
Shad doesn't want to leave this lane ever. I like this. I think this is a good utilization of the Luna and the idea of what you need to be doing on the map. Malrine, well, he does rotate slightly there to bring down the Khalis. But the Khalis did steal the Wisdom Rune, so all in all, Team Tickles, that's a victory for them.
Yeah, that's absolutely a win. And their supports could really use those level 6s as well. Weaver has now made it to top. Zibe should be dead to rights here.
Nice lift from the Rubik, but that is gonna be the Rocket Flare and another Loosened Beam to finish off Zibe. He's really struggling versus these Loosened Beams. Maybe you should buy a range drop, but you always just want to rush that Meteor Hammer as much as possible. And that greed, well, it might have just cost him his life.
It's possible. He did switch fully over towards the Dragon Shell build as well, trusting on only a single level Gush and Anchor Smash now, so complete 180 from how he started the lane.
Oh, they're going for Malrine. He just turns around. Going to be starting to do so much damage to Atlantic. Cannot finish him off. But Ducales could be next on the menu. They have the urn on the Timbersaw, dropping very low, and he will be taken down. Narman loses his life as well. There's going to be 2 supports dead for Malrine. So in general, Team Tickles, they're not too mad about this. That is the highest net worth hero on the map. It then go towards your sprite, but it doesn't matter. A lot of levels for the Team Tickle supports. The Weaver even hit level 6 there. If he was able to use the time lapse, would have been even better.
Yeah, it would have been fantastic for him, but he's going to have it the next time he goes in, so that makes him all the more potent as a scout.
I guess. Yulnit is not going for a Midas this time around on the Slark. He just wants an Echo Saber. So what does this mean, Kips? That Yulnit wants to be fighting early?
Yeah, I think so as well. There's way more of a like make sure that at least you can involve it early if it's necessary, right? Team Tickles might not step on the gas, but this Helm of Iron Will on the Beastmaster says probably do well. I know. Boom. Yeah, he got lured in there.
But he might be able to run himself away. He did go for the roar. The extra movement speed is there, but Malrine will be connecting, getting super close to him. Narman could be in some trouble as well. He does have the time lapse, so in the end, he's just baiting. But this Beastmaster tower, it is getting so low, Kips. We already talked about it a couple of times during our cast. If the Beastmaster loses that tower early, it's so hard to play Dota. They can invade your Ancients all the time.
Invade your Ancients. The Beastmaster's attempts at taking down his own lane tower, which is so important for his early tempo, is also slowed down so much. So they have ads on the bottom side here now to try and mount, well, not a defense, but maybe a punish.
They did deny the tower.
Yeah.
Luna has a Mask of Madness and is working towards the Dragonlance, so it's gonna be a full farming mode now for the Luna, but he's still staying in the vicinity as to be sure that the Tidehunter isn't pushing that tower down. I really like this for Tickles. They weren't able to protect the bottom tier one, but if the top one stays alive for a long period of time, it will definitely hurt the ability of Namiga to control the map, especially during the second nighttime. That is when the Slark wants to be putting the foot on the gas.
Completely agreed. And you want to have the Luna capable of some sort of contribution at that point in the game as well. So as long as she can farm the flank here, it means that Beastmaster actually gets to have the Ancients. He's taking the stacks right now. And the economy of Tickles stays intact even if their bottom tower isn't at the moment.
It's only a 1k gold lead. It's really nothing that bad here for Tickles, as the Luna will probably be the fastest farmer on the map and is showing it at the moment. Of course, Malrine trying to match it, and he will be able to. Every single time this Chakram comes out, Kips, there is a little bit of a lag. Malrine, he's breaking the game.
Wouldn't be the first time, I suppose.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's not crashing it.
Yep, hopefully he doesn't do it, as we know what happens. People cannot unpause the game. Some meteor hammers are dropping towards the top lane, so the tower is taking some damage, and well, Malrine will be rotating as well. They really want to open up this map.
And he is flanking the Luna, staying a little bit further behind, unluckily, and the Clockwork is still in the right position to intercept any attempts at killing her.
Can they
But
kill
that is
her?
giving up the top tower.
He's currently in a safe position, so the tower is dead, but everybody else stays alive. So I'd say Team Tickles, nice dodge there, but still they are not slowing down these tower pushes properly just yet. But not being behind, I guess for now, is a pretty good deal. They did find the Luna, stolen Lucent Beam, and Ravage immediately gonna be used. They're gonna use the Gush. Here comes from the other side, Malrine as well. Shad, oh, he has nowhere to run. The cogs were used. He'll be taken down. Phantom is the one who gets him down as well. As Narman comes over, he wants to be bringing Phantom, but he's gonna suck the life out of the Weaver. Narman is so low in the Lucent Beam. The stolen one will get the kill, as Ducalis will die to the nether blast of Phantom, or was it actually the ward that brought him down? Either way, 3 heroes dead. Namiga completely overwhelmed that fight, or a slaughter, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, this is a classic illustration of why I normally say don't try to reinforce a lane where the enemy is going, and instead try to get the trade out, because you did have a Beastmaster with the Helm's Dominator finished on that bottom side trying to push the Slark out, and that could be something that helps you gain space later on, whereas if you move your supports here, well, maybe you get a kill or two, but you're never winning this fight.
The second that fight started, and there was no Earth Spirit in the vicinity, it was 100% certain you're losing it. He is your main teamfight hero at the moment. You didn't have him, and your Luna was super low to begin with, also without the Eclipse.
Well, we have Atlantic, all 9 stones, Blade Mail at the ready, going down to make his attempt.
He does slow down Yulnit, who jumps himself away. Are they going to be going for this chase? The answer seems to be yes. Yulnit, he still has his ulti to work with, but he does look like he's gonna die here, Kips. In a couple of seconds, he will be able to get himself away. He goes for the pick pole. His movement speed is very high, but because of that pick pole, he didn't have the Dark Pact, so the Roar will be keeping him in place long enough. Very nice chase around, and I like that Team Tickles understood that they could go for the Slark, even though he's pretty elusive.
Yep, that was the assignment and they fulfilled it. And it is very hard to bring TP support in here when the Earth Spirit hasn't used his Magnetize yet. For all you know, you're just going to TP in, he pops the ult, and you've fed more kills, much like what happened on top actually. So that is a big win for Tickles. Not just the Yulnit kill, but also finally getting the space on the bottom side. A lot slower bounces of the creep wave between these two towers now, a lot more space for Boom to do his ding-dong ditching on the bottom tower, if you will.
I mean, getting the Slark out of the lane, putting Yulnit in a position where he does feel killable. So even if you're not there in the bottom lane, he's gonna be thinking twice about staying on that lane. And
Is he?
no, he's playing with his life. The Weaver solo cannot really kill him.
No, he cannot, but he definitely wanted to see if anybody else was going to come out of the bushes right there. And interestingly enough, also going in for the Diffusal Blade now before the Aghanim Scepter, so definitely once again kitting up, like we've seen Slarks do earlier in this tournament, to contribute instead of to go for the Aghanim Scepter.
This is the power of the Timber Saw coming into play, right? He knows that his Timber Saw is going to be so powerful, being able to bring people down. So if he can offer with that chase, he's going to be getting quite a lot of farm, as poor Ducalis will be taking down. Malrine, who now has the Octarine Core, is just running forward. He does miss on the Timber Chain, no trees there to latch onto, and the rest of Tickles, they bail.
Yeah, even though they have access to the Magnetize still, if they wanted to grab themselves a teamfight opportunity. That is, I feel like we haven't seen enough out of this Earth Spirit right now.
Yeah, Atlantic is very quiet. The roll from the Rubik, the lift while going for the roll. He tries to get himself away, but will be blocked in, trying to protect with the Blade Mail. Nobody really cares. Hellscream, well, he does go for the one right click there, and he's having a lot of fun, Hellscream. We can see it on his face. He is laughing while using the enemy spell to kill that exact same hero.
Yeah. Hellscream looks like such a typical +4 player. He's just chaos. Like, I have no responsibilities. All I need to do is style on people, and I will get applause. And he is right.
I mean, he deserved an applause for those plays. Really did do an awesome job.
Yep.
That's one good thing when you steal the rolling boulder. You can actually use spells while going for it. And well, sorry, Hellscream, but you're not getting out of this one alive. He steals the Shikuchi, goes for it, but will be dying in the process of trying to run away. As Pantomime uses the dust, and Narman, and Malrine, he missed him there. So now even if he connects with a couple of spells, there will be a time lapse. Besides, not for it. Yulnit coming forward, he doesn't have the ulti, caught in the cogs, and here comes Malrine to finish off Shad. He'll be doing it with the Whirling Death. They have the Spirit Vessel, so Malrine has to be kind of careful, but he also does a lot of damage coming in with their Spirit, threatening with Ravage. Zibase here, level 2 Ravage at the ready. Team Tickles, they have to be very careful about how they approach this big sea beast.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that they didn't bail out of that positioning as soon as the Tidehunter showed up, because they have already spent the Magnetize. Finally, very, very good return on that, getting the kill on the Slark. But after that's over, I don't see any way that you're killing either the Tide or the Timber Saw with the limited amount of damage that you have at your disposal.
Tide definitely not. The second that the Luna dies, I think the Tide doesn't die at all. That's the only
Well,
hero
they're gonna make their attempt.
What the hell is Malrine doing? That's way too deep.
Well, he thought he couldn't die, but that's Helm of the Overlord.
Now they want to force out the Tide Ravage. They might not think they can kill this hero, but they want the Ravage to come out. He has the Shard, however, the dead in the water there for the Earth Spirit, so he cannot continue with the rolls. Pantomime, he's pretty speedy, but he has been slowed down. Nice Tumbler Story to dodge the roll, but it doesn't matter. He'll get kicked back, and Pantomime will be taken down. Xantic, very nice usage of the spells.
Yeah, and now with the BKB all but flying out for the Luna, I don't think the pedal is going to go off the gas for Tickles for a while. They have everything that they want to, especially pointing at the helm of the Overlord here for Boom. It's a little later than you normally want it to be because his lane has been very hard. He lost that tower, but they're going to milk it for all it's worth.
And they're going for the last tier 1. No more tier 1s on the map here in game 1, 14-12. The goal lead non-existent, but Team Tickles, they have the momentum, and straight in the pit with it they go. As Nemiga, they do have the Ravage, so they might actually decide to defend this, but it doesn't look like they're aware. Scan was used, and now they know.
Yep, certainly their positioning should give it away as well, because you're knocking on the offlane tier 2 tower. That's usually a sign for, hey, are you home or are you doing Roche? And nobody answers, they're doing Roche.
Yep. Overall, that's a Luna with a BKB, with an Aegis as well. Killing her, gonna be very tough now. Wants to go for the shard, so those Moonglaves that are gonna be around her are gonna be doing quite a lot. So reducing the damage she takes by 25%, that's so huge. When you look at Malrine, who already died once, he doesn't want to die again, but he's not going to have a choice. They have the roar, you're not going to move. The Crapify has been used, but that just means even more damage, and it is only magical they're doing. Pantomime, he showed his position. He might be one of the fastest heroes in the game. Okay, that's a broken ankle on Xanthi, but the Kalis, well, he is not going to be falling for it whatsoever. Narman is the one who gets the kill and is now on a killing spree. Malrine making a couple of mistakes, and now the Luna will finally be able to overtake him in net worth.
This tempo switch from Tickles is very impressive. This was exactly the window that they had to hit. Their lanes, they couldn't snowball out of those, so they held their cards quite close to their chest for a while. And I was honestly thinking that we're playing it too passive, but they're making this switch so fluidly that I have no complaints. This is exactly what they need to be doing at this point in the game. And Nemiga has to show up with all 5 in the Ravage if they want to fight this, and they just haven't been doing that.
Oh, I don't think you'll fight this now. The problem is that your Timbersaw, who was the strongest hero on the map, is not that strong any longer. So Malrine, his item progression has slowed down, and he's not capable of surviving for longer periods of time. Oh, Pantomime. Be caught. The roll will not connect again. He's breaking some ankles, but it doesn't matter, as his legs will be broken by Narman in the end. He's the one who gets the kill, and Xantic with his heart, he doesn't fear anything.
No, absolutely not. And I think that one of the reasons why this Timbersaw can't survive currently is because this Tide has no defensive itemization whatsoever. The magic damage is doing all of the work right now for Team Tickles, and you have no pipe. You invested into an Aghanim Scepter that is synergizing with the Slark not so well. You know, if you have a Gyrocopter or perhaps a Terrorblade, heroes that will be doing a lot of damage in disparate directions, a lot of physical damage on different separate targets, I could see it. But for this Tide, mostly what it does is clear creep waves for him, and at this point in the game, that doesn't do enough for your team.
I think they felt super good about this game, Nemiga, up until that Malrine death in the enemy jungle. And I have to say, I think this is why Tickles are winning the game. They have way too many wards on the map, way too many good wards, and you're playing versus the Slark. I think Nemiga should not have allowed that, and it's definitely hurting them. It's hurting Malrine for sure, who will have an Aghanim Scepter, and speaking of, the Slark has one as well.
Yep, so item progression still coming in for Nemiga, and of course, the tempo is in the hands of Team Tickles right now, but the gold differential isn't just yet.
Oh, let's see. Narman, he found Pantomime, protecting his buddies with the Garzibe, though doesn't have that much mana to work with, but they're gonna go for a smoke. It seems that Nemiga want to fight. They want to turn this game around now.
And Team Tickles are, well, they will probably take that fight, but not here, because Xantic is the only one left in the enemy triangle. And
He's a
knows.
strong hero for sure. Will get jumped on. The lift is there. Xantic tries to go for the roll. Not gonna be happening. Yulnit going for the right clicks. And he gets himself a kill. So Xantic will be going down. And Marine goes deep. But he has the Aghanim Scepter. So they're doing no damage to this guy. It is actually gonna be exploding. Shad is dead. 5 seconds on the sidelines. He still has the Aegis. The card is dropping low. There's the Ravage. He's gonna have the BKB. Shad, he's standing his ground and fighting what was stolen. It's gonna be the Lucent being left. Level 4 and Shad, he cannot run away, he cannot escape, he's dead. It's a triple kill for Yulnit. It is gonna be a 4-man kill. So it would have been a 5-man team wipe if you count the Aegis as well. Tickles completely helpless in that fight.
I am bewildered because you can see Ads popping his blade mail as he stands in the Ancients. Most like I read that as I know you guys are here. It was popped before they went on him.
I don't know. I thought he was just popping it for the Ancients. I understand the point there, but why use it earlier before they actually jump you? As Tickles don't really have that much to stun lock him unless they want to go for Ravage.
I mean, but potato in the end, right? Whether
True.
he saw
Doesn't
them coming
matter.
or not, the entirety of his team should bail the moment he dies.
That was a huge fight for sure. And this is the thing, that was the momentum of Team Tickles just going away. Yulnit now is at the top of the network chart, and this is hella scary. Malrine with the Aghanim Scepter, you need something to take that off. You just cannot kill him. It was obvious in that previous fight that you have 4 heroes attacking him and there's nothing you can do.
And this is definitely more of a, well, literally tickle them to death kind of team instead of like any big single hit. So he is always going to have a lot of those armor stacks up. Ooh. That's a wild ride.
Yep, for sure. But in terms of win probability, Team Tickles are still favored, as it is the timing for their lineup to shine still. Their Luna does reclaim the spot as the top network hero and really is the fastest hero on the fastest farming hero on the map. But Amiga, they won another fight. They don't have the Ravage, however, this time around.
No, they should beware.
Going for the Tide, the Xantic, he goes for the Magnetize, but Zibe, well, he's a Tide Hunter, doesn't care much about it. He's caught in the cogs. The Force Staff will take him out, and Malrine going in, doing so much damage. Yulnit, he doesn't have the ulti any longer on the Slark. He already used both of his ultis, but Malrine finally, he doesn't have the Aghanim Scepter any longer. 2 supports have died, but nice chase down. Narman does find the Tide Hunter in the back there with the Shikuchi. Hellscream will be taken out as well. Malrine now, he has to be getting away as well. Yulnit without the ulti, without the depth shot, he cannot help his buddy, and that is this time around gonna be 4 heroes of Namiga that rather than the 4 heroes of Team Tickles.
And those cogs there, that was borderline game rooting for both of those teams, but ultimately the fact that you get to keep the Slark out of the fight for so long is huge.
I don't know why the Force Staff didn't come out on the Tide earlier. I mean, Hellscream did have it, and he decided not to go for it. Look, he's waiting, and only now.
2 pushbacks on Malrine as well.
Yep.
Huge. And now they're storming up to the barracks.
Yeah, immediately going for it. They understand that they're super strong, but the Slark, he is gonna have his ulti. Actually, hasn't popped it just yet. Going in now, he's gonna be going for it. Yulnit, he's going for Shad, getting a lot of stacks in. That also has to be careful. The Gush will be used onto multiple heroes, and they do deal with the anchor there from Zibe. The Dead in the Water will be removed, and the Luna will be able to run herself away. Team Tickles, they get the tier 3, and they get themselves out.
Yeah, and as much as I was hating on the Aghanim Scepter earlier, there is one thing that the Ags is very good at, which is holding that high ground with the Tide Hunter. You're always going to hit basically the entire team.
Oh, they did use a scan. They know exactly where their opponents are. Yulnit, he knows that he's not being spotted. He will be finding the Weaver. The time lapse is available. Narman, she shouldn't be dying here. Will be slowed down. Nice pull back. The Shard of the Earth Spirit is available, and Narman, well, with that, his mobility around the map will be way too high for Namiga to do anything about it.
And I don't think Team Pickles have any reason to slow down here. They're grabbing the BKB over on the Xantic right now, which is absolutely huge. Really a dent in Malrine's ability to break him down, as well as not getting interrupted by the Ravage. And then next to that, the Luna is this close to finishing off with Silver Edge, which if you get that hit out onto Malrine early enough, he keeps all of his stacks that he already got, right? So he needs to not have a lot of reactive armor stacks already up, but if you hit him early on enough, he just doesn't get any.
Amiga, they have that Ravage and they really want to use it. Blink Ravage is available, but Team Tickles also, all of them in a very good position. Very nice ward though from Namiga as well. They roughly know where their opponents are, but now they're all under vision coming in with the Ravage. They want to kill him, but nice pullback. There will be a jump onto the Ear Spirit as well. He has the Blade Mail protecting him. Unit now going for Shad. They cannot kill anybody, at least not for now. The reactive armor was used. The call is dropping low. Depth Shroud protecting them, but the Tyrant will die in the end. It is a core for a support, and the AoE damage is going to be huge. Rolling onto the Slark. Unit has been caught, but it is very hard to kill this hero. Will get to be kicked back with the Dark Pact. Removes the Magnetize, gets himself away. Is healing back up. Doesn't have the ulti, doesn't have the shard either. With the buyback of the Tide, it's time to run away, and the tactic, he will do just that.
All of the BKBs are down. Team Tickles have to call that one a pretty big win, honestly. If you kill Jibe now at any point during the next 7 minutes, you get yourself an opportunity to straight up win the game. He was so integral in holding the island. I'm not sure, but you could... Are they going to put the Aegis on the Tide? Surely not.
No, that is true. They're probably going to be putting it onto Ulnit, and then he's going to be jumping in and not really caring about using his ulti. The Rocket Flare was used, so Team Tickles, they know about this. The question is, do they have the guts to fight it without their BKBs?
They have the positioning.
Yep, they definitely do. And they have the hook shot. They have the heroes to do it. Malrine is low. Hook shot onto the Slark. He'll get force-staffed out. There's the Gush to keep them away. Malrine, he needs to go to base. He did go to base. They're gonna be having to wait for him here. Ulnit, he needs to do that. They have the lifting, but what does this mean, Kips? That the BKBs will be back up.
Yeah, any second now. 3, 2, 1. Luna's got it. BKBs. Luna's is down to 6 seconds, 7 seconds for the Beastmaster, 8 for the Air Spirit. Shad going for it. The Gush. We'll see what's happening. Unit goes in and he smashes it. Shad, he gets the cheese at least. Unit now going forward. He definitely feels super strong, but you don't want to be losing that Aegis already. He does have the depth shot. Will be healing quite a lot. Malrine is in as well. Dror was used, but the Lotus Orb did return it. The Stark loses his first life. The Xantic still alive. Going to the side there. Luna did lose her life, and this is a problem now, which means that you're gonna get slaughtered. You don't have that constant output of damage, so it's gonna be easy to run down every single one of these heroes when you don't have the fear of death. Beautiful fight for Namiga and Ulnit. We were talking about him, his matchup versus Shad, and he's gonna be taking this game back with a beautiful jump into the pit. That was phenomenal, and you're doing that versus a Clockwork. We were all looking at these countdown timers on the BKBs, but what we should have been looking at was the fact that the hook shot was down, and this Clockwork couldn't secure the final Roshan kill, even though they have all of the vision in the world. Normally, this is where you hook in to secure it, right?
Yep, this is when you do it, but yeah, he wasn't expecting
it. This is why you do it.
He wasn't expecting.
I mean, he might have been. It was just down because they used it earlier.
Yep. Maybe he should have used the cogs. That would have been a good thing as well.
But that's Captain Hindsight.
Look at how fast Shad dies. They're literally killing him 3 times here, right? The healing Lotus, the cheese, and he still dies. Ravage will be used now in real time. We're gonna be seeing a huge fight in the mid lane.
Malrine's not there.
Used to run away. Without Malrine, you cannot finish people off. The tower doesn't fall. It is just a Ravage to save the Tidehunter's life.
Yeah, which is very important right now. He still has about 4.5 minutes left where he really shouldn't die, especially because there's no Aegis on the board right now. They did take that stolen Aegis off of Ulnit in the previous fight, and it means that a kill on the Tide is still a possible game winner.
Malrine did go in, started doing damage to the Luna. The Luna will be okay for now. Has the Silver Edge. Does Shad really want to fight? He doesn't have that much to heal with. Oh, the reactive armor was used now. There's the Roar there. Onto the Rubik. He is dying to the science. Has the force left to the low ground. Lotus are protecting him as well. But the Pugna will die. No buyback. Ulnit going for the Earth Spit. Losing a lot of the mana there. He wants to take it all away and will be able to do it. The Xantic not doing all that much. The Eclipse is trying to make something happen, but it will not help. The Slark will still slaughter his mid laner, and the Weaver will die as well, as Ulnit is going for more. Luckily for the Luna, it's not nighttime, so the Slark doesn't see all that well. Malrine going to the enemy base, and he won't be finding any extra kills.
And that was absolutely wild to me. I swore that the Roar had gone off on Malrine. Did he just get hit by the Hawk at exactly the same time?
I don't know how I heard the double roar. I think the Rubik had the roar. That is the thing. Right?
You might be right that it was the
yeah.
Rubik then.
The Rubik started off with the roar, and then we saw the second one. Then from
Boom.
Yep. Shad, he pushes out the top wave. This is something that Namiga are always gonna have to keep in mind, and that is the top lane. If the Luna gets into your base and the glaive started bouncing, it is gonna be a problem. So you always have to be ready to push out that wave as much as possible. And Luna now having the Hurricane Pike, that really does help Shad's positioning. And he also got level 20. So now with the Lucent Beam, he's going to be doing even more damage.
Really should not underestimate the damage output of that, especially now that you've gotten a little bit of that old power back with the buffs from yesterday.
I'm really liking that Malrine is going for a Hex. Once he gets that, if he's level 25 as well, I don't know how you win versus that any longer. He just goes in and kills a hero. I don't see how anybody survives. Maybe if the Earth Spirit pulls them out, or if the Weaver saves them with the time lapse.
Yeah.
Those are the possibilities, but overall, if you are not ready with the saves, a hero just dies.
Guaranteed. But the fact that that axe is already up on the Weaver does present a very important scenario for them. There is counterplay for Tickles.
Let's see if Narman can do it. So now the Slark is not the only one that can heal himself up and heal his units. The Pugna can do it as well. But on the other side, of course, you do have the time lapse with the Aghanim Scepter. If the Luna is saved in the middle of the fight, that can change the outcome. Though we've already seen in that Roche fight that Luna died pretty much thrice.
Yes. Surely didn't get to say much about it either. I'm gonna go for the butterfly next. I was maybe thinking about the satanic because there's not that much to keep her stunned, but the possibility is, of course, that she doesn't actually get to hit anything with the Prognat Decrep, as well as the Depth Shroud.
I'd rather see the satanic first for that exact same reason, right? Because you can remove the Decrep from yourself as well. That is big.
Yeah.
Also, removing this Bloodthorn, that is huge too. I think when he sees the Bloodthorn,
Butterfly
he changes
into the
his mind.
Bloodthorn feels like a bait. He switched.
Bye, the Kalis. He just bought his Boots of the Bearing, meaning that he doesn't have a buyback. Of course, it wasn't spotted by Namiga, so they're not necessarily gonna know that that's the case.
That's going to allow them to maneuver a lot better in the fights where everybody's going to be slowed up by the Tide Gush.
They're going for the twin gates. They just want to be moving super fast around the map. I like it now that the Slark has the gem. That was one of the issues that the Namiga had, not controlling the vision of their enemies, which ultimately led to their loss of the early mid-game into the mid-game territory and Malrine dying a couple of times. Now, well, the Slark is just going to be dealing with all of the vision.
Yeah, there's finally some space to breathe for him to do it in as well, man. These two supports, they see these empty camps, they know what's up.
Oh, Boom, going for a TP out. He will be successful. Hellscream, not there in time. Boom gets out. That was as close as it gets.
Yeah, that's literally by the tips of his whiskers.
Oh, there's the Hex now. Malrine showing it. Narman has his ulti, so he can turn back time. And it will be to a place where at Xanthic he had a lot more HP. They still do take him down quite low. Not enough to get the kill. Clockwork, on the other hand, he's just gonna be dying in a second. The Slark really does pack a punch.
He does. I mean, he's got 15 permanent agility on him, and he's got those Bloodthorn hits. You got to be able to disengage from him immediately, or you're a goner.
Now you're blind if you're Team Tickles, and this is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
We're seeing the win probability, it's 50%, but the thing is that you don't know what's happening on the map, so it is very likely that they can make mistakes. I really want to see Team Tickles get themselves together in some way, but it's so hard. You have to play the fight really, really well, because you are up against the Ravage, and your BKBs, well, they got low.
Yes, and the problem with this vision is that now you don't get to choose where and when the fight is anymore. You just gotta see what kind of fight Namiga gives you, and if you take it or not. And at this point in the game, not taking it definitely means that you're going to be losing heroes anyway. So you don't get to make that choice all too often before you start to lose really big on the net worth department.
So how do you prepare for that fight? How are you going to be positioning as a team if your team Tickles to maximize your potential to win a fight?
And you have the rocket flare still. That is your one saving grace, and you gotta be checking every single high ground before you walk up.
Yolnet, he just stands there. He doesn't care. Has his ulti. Will be jumping out for the time being. He did break the smoke. The gush thrown out. Team Tickles, they have to run. This is very, very dangerous now, but they've just placed a ward. That was the one ward that they have, and they're not gonna be having it any longer.
You could either on that fight on that ward or give it up, and they have given it up in this chase out.
No, they're going in. Nice harpoon there. The blink out doesn't really help, or the kick out. Boom. He'll have to be keeping Depth Shroud hiding inside of it. Yulnit is not going to be caught. He will have his ulti back fairly soon. Malrine protected by the reactive armor there. The Aghanim Scepter is definitely helping, and he does get the blink out, so he'll be safe. For now, nobody dies. It is just some pokes from each side.
It's so hard for them to get the right positioning. Clockwork.
Oh, he's in so much trouble. Goes for the jetpack and will be able to survive. Force Staff definitely coming in handy. Now the BKB from the Earth Spirit, but he doesn't have the Vision. Pantomime keeps himself safe. Glimmer Cape coming really in handy. Timbersaw almost level 25 Kips. This is when things become very, very scary.
Yeah, indeed. And the Timbersaw level 25 is only part of it. I mean, I'm kind of, he's going to take the second chakram, and that's his good right. But with the stutters that we've had, I just hope that it doesn't crash the game.
Yeah, I'm getting confused
So
every single time with the
fragile.
stutters. Yeah, for sure. Game, can you take
Please.
it, Dota 2? Can you take Malrine's greatness? We'll be finding out in the next couple of minutes, as he does have the level 25.
And he is separated from his team currently with a work, and he just went in. He wants this kill.
Goes in. He got sassed up though by the clockwork when he got pulled back as well. But the saves from Team Tickles on point so far.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that did mean that they took a step back from a kill that, or they couldn't know that they could get that one. Is the problem. If you know nothing and you step forward into level 25 Malrine right there, and he's the one who goes in on you, you're gonna believe that the rest of his team is behind him.
Double Ravage is available. The refresher is there. Malrine, he has a shield rune. No, you don't fight him now because he cannot die.
No.
Literally, Malrine is unkillable. Zantic, the time lapse will be used on him, so he get his HP back. As the BKB will be surviving. Yulnit, he just doesn't care. The Eclipse will be used, doing so much damage, but Yulnit, he has the ulti and he doesn't care. The Tidehunter is coming forward. You have to run away or the Double Ravage will kill you. And Malrine, he wants to bait even more. He didn't lose quite a lot of his mana. And there's the one Ravage, and there's another one as well. It is slaughter time right now, as finally Zime did come into the fight to finish it in favor of his team. Team Tickles, they lose 5 heroes, only one of which has buyback. And that could be at least one lane of racks, even more than that for Namiga.
Yeah, that looks like the beginning of the end to me, where Team Tickles have had to fish around for a good fight and just couldn't get anybody down fast enough to take advantage of the fact that the tide wasn't there.
Killing the Slark is way too tough. It's just how the hero works. And him
Yes.
having a 9-second BKB 40 minutes into the game, it really is hard to go up against that. Also now 46 Essence Shift stacks, meaning that the push isn't really gonna be going that hard for Namiga.
No, that won't take long at all. And that's, I guess, one of the things that I'm also realizing now is that you have a really very good save with both his time lapse as well as the grip away from the Earth Spirit, right? But none of that actually, gives you back the Essence Shift stacks that the Slark has already taken.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
fine,
had it,
save your
Tickles. They had the game. Of course, the turning point, the Aegis being stolen, but overall,
Yeah.
Namiga, they had a couple of mistakes in this game. Malrine, he probably feels like he put his team in a very uncomfortable position. I have to say, both of the teams made small mistakes, and the opponents capitalized on it, but a big play for Namiga in the end was what got them the victory. And of course, they were not on a timing.
No, exactly. That is the luxury that you do have here. And props in that regard go to Team Tickles for getting slapped around a little bit early game, then turning on a dime to execute an absolutely fantastic timing push with the Beastmaster, leading into the Luna, both of them becoming the strongest presences on the map. And then, well, Namiga, the way that they play the game after they get the Aghanims over on Malrine, the Aegis steal, I mean, we're going to see that one in the highlight reel just to enjoy that one again, because that was definitely the nail in the coffin for Team Tickles to win with the draft that they had for themselves. Whereas for the side of Namiga, they had been playing straightforward up until that point, and they could continue.
Usually I'm not the one to point out one play that changes the game, but that was really the Aegis with which Team Tickles ends the game, literally. After that fight, they take the Aegis. If they win the fight, it's over. The game is done. Donezo. Nothing you can do about it. And it just does not happen, Kips. So the series starts with 1-0 for Namiga in a pretty nice fashion. These are the type of games that we want to see here at the grand finals of the Malta Vibes 4, as the one who deserves to go to the beautiful beaches of Malta. He needs to be playing awesome Dota. For now, we'll be taking a short break, but make no mistake, guys, it is gonna be very, very short because the players are already ready and they want to fight once again, but only after a couple of minutes.
Told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we try to hold on. We built this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we are still on board. Dancing in the moonlight, the world just stopped and stares. We got no destination, I'll take you anywhere. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words just come together, story that we never told. So far you're saying for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. For our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, doors we've opened and all the books we've closed.
Oh, esport. You and I have come a long way. It was such humble beginnings. As we gathered in small groups, we were professionals right from the start. Passionate, organized, and ready to rumble. We dreamed big, and surely enough, our parents supported us at every step of the way. Didn't they? Fired up by all this love, it wasn't long until we caught the scent of competition. To be honest with you, it wasn't always that easy. Joe here, he had to take on 2 side jobs to afford playing professionally. It's gonna get better, Joe. Fist bump. Some of you dared to not even call this a sport. And look where we are today. An endless stream of esports events every year. Bet you didn't see that coming, Mom and Dad. And you know what? We have been with you every single step of the way.
Dream of working with people you watch on screen. Exclusive esports opportunities handpicked just for you. Candidate profile to raise above competition. Let 10GG handle routines. Make a step towards your dream today.
Game 1 had it all. Outplays, mistakes, timings, weird items. It was all there, Kips. So, can we get more entertainment in Game 2 here at the Pinnacle Cup Malta Vibes 4?
I mean, I gotta say, a clutch Aegis steal like that is hard to beat, but you know, perhaps we could just get 2 clutch Aegis steals? You never know.
Rampage? I think we were missing a
Yeah.
Rampage in that game, especially when Unlit he stole the Aegis, and that, not that fight, but then one after it when he got a triple kill, almost an ultra. I think a Rampage there would have made this game the best one of the grand finals. Now we're just gonna be bored, but luckily there is still room to grow here, Kips. So hopefully the teams are gonna be showing it to us here at the grand finals of the Malta Vibes 4, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence, as all of the players are in the lobby. The new patch, it didn't really change anything in terms of first pick, second pick, and of course the side. So again, people are just going to be picking first pick or Radiant. Namiga will be having the first pick, and this time around Team Tickles will be on the Radiant side. So you asked me in the break, do I still see Namiga as the heavy favorite? And I had my doubts now, but how does it look from your side? Are you still thinking Tickles got this final in the bag?
In the bag has always been a bit of a superlative, right? But I definitely am happy with just picking them yesterday and this morning and standing by them, because I do think that I saw that solidity in how, okay, we have a plan and we are going to execute that plan come hell or high water. I saw that in the previous map, and that is all that I was looking for, really.
Okay. I guess that's a fair answer. As we do have a draft on our hands, and game two will start now.
Let's see. I would like it though if Team Tickles' plan was. I'm not even sure less on a timer. Like that looked like they were very comfortable playing with the timer that they got given, but perhaps having a little bit more playmaking ability on their side, because that game was, if you itemize a little differently, especially on the Tide Hunter, you maybe go for the pipe. I don't see that window opening nearly as wide as it did in that previous game, and then you're just really running short on options with the Beastmaster and Luna. Really, all you can do is walk forward and hope you find something good.
I agree, but on the other hand, they had a draft that could win. They were in a position that they could win out of with their gameplay. Right? So I think if they believe in themselves, a similar draft should not be a problem for them to pull out here in the second game, or maybe further on down the line. Even if you lose this one, you're still in it. It is a best of 5 match. There's all led up to this. Of course, it was a single elimination bracket. Every single one of these teams had a situation where they thought, oh guys, this series, it really does matter. Here, you cannot get kicked out of the tournament, but if you don't win, you're not going to be getting tickets to Malta. And Team Tickles, those things already got out of their hand once.
Slippery little buggers, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They definitely are. As Namiga, they're banning the same heroes, Team Tickles. They did switch it up a bit this time around. They will get rid of the Pugna. It really was kind of annoying playing versus that hero. Of course, the Atlanticanka will get taken away, but it does leave the Pango. And instant Team Tickles, they go for a Seeker. Very nice bait.
Yep, absolutely. And this also absolutely smashes the door closed on that Slark pick. That's not going to happen anymore now either. And this definitely fulfills one of the conditions that I was hoping for, like for Team Tickles, rather than to react to set the circumstances of the rest of the game for themselves. Just, slap it all on the table, say this is what I got, and now Namiga can decide how they react, instead of leaving their last pick for, well, to have a Luna and to sort of lock yourself into not having that late game secured. I would much rather see them do this, where they determine the circumstances and then Namiga can decide to counter.
So overall, when the Pango came out, nobody wanted to play it versus the Seeker. As time progressed, people were feeling comfortable sometimes even picking a Pango into the Seeker, or picking the Pango and not banning the Seeker at all. What changed, Kips? Did people just get better on the hero?
I think so, yeah. But there is also the fact that what the rest of Pangalier's kit is just really very good. You're still a hero that can two-shot clear a creep with, that scales with items, that has the ability to go debuff immune. There is a whole lot to him that does not rest on the teamfight chaos factor of his. Now, however, since we're a couple patches further and Pangolier has gotten continuously slapped with a nerf stick, as he should, I wonder how much you have left in the tank as far as impact goes when the Bloodseeker does take your ult more or less off the table.
I remember the Pango when he was first introduced, when everybody was playing him position 4 with 3-4 javelins and just one-shotting people. Oh, those were the good times. Yeah, very, very, very good times. Team Tickles, they get Avenge, so a Rupture into a swap, there's going to be so much damage on anybody who's on the receiving end of that. Plus, the Seeker will have some kind of a save to work with if he does get caught in this hero. He doesn't want to get stunned. He has so much movement speed, so he wants to be running around the fight, but if he gets stunned up, he can easily die. With Avenge, not going to be that easy. Namiga, they go for the two supports that were both slightly nerfed in the D patch here, the Dark Willow and the Tree Protector. Nothing too massive, but it can make a difference.
It can make a difference. Yeah, 2 seconds on the Bramble Maze is not really going to make or break a hero that is currently played mostly for the ability to put the Bedlam onto a mobile hero and let that guy go ham. And Pangolier is the combination that we've seen, I think, most favored with it. It's just that the Pango has been banned so often.
Yeah, poor guy. You know, you're like, he's been hit with the nerf stick, and as he should. And Pango is still comfortable. First pick or first ban, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I am the strongest.
Exactly, but as long as that remains, I'm very comfortable in hating on him because he can take it.
You know, that is how the Mars felt, right? Because the
Yeah.
hero had everything, and now he still has everything, but it's just so weak that nobody wants to play him, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen to our boy.
But I mean, Pangolier is certainly more charming than Mars.
You
I
think
think that's
so?
something only a woman would say.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought women liked Mars type more, right? I'm a big, strong warrior. Let's go. And this is like,
That's a
my,
man's
my
man.
dear, my cherie, you know, that
Exactly.
you like
He
that more?
kisses all the way up my arm.
Oh,
Like,
okay, okay. Omelette du fromage.
The Adams family. Ooh, yes.
Yeah, not gonna be using that. That's a cheat, guys. No, not fair, not fair.
Careful.
Team Tickles, they get the Earth Spirit and the Warlock, so he's definitely gonna be putting the Earth Spirit at the Coral again, unless they're gonna be running something weird as a offlane bench. Not that weird, but really not as popular nowadays.
Certainly not. And hey, Brewmaster, also not in the first bans currently because he did get hit with nerf. Laning strength definitely adapted a little bit with less. Wait, to make sure that I say this right. 'cause you
This is
all
still
are
a perfect
counting
brew
on me.
game. It's still a perfect brew game. He can be hit with whatever. It is a
Yeah,
perfect brew
I
game
mean-
in general.
Just dispel the Warlock Golem and you're happy, right? But his
Yep.
Brewed Up multiplier has decreased a little bit. Primal Split has more mana, and you will also get. I guess the Aghanim Shard Council could change. Do you think that's a nerf actually?
Wait. What exactly did they do to the Aghanim Shards?
So he now reappears according to regular Brewling priority, regardless of which Brewling you
Okay.
activated it on.
That's solid nerf. That's really a solid nerf. It's not gonna be possible for him to just be a bully, especially in terms of pushing the towers. Let's say later on, he's gonna have to be very careful about that. And your Earth Panda is not dying early on. Let's be honest.
No, true. Like you need an Ursa and a lot of good luck for that.
True. But still, dispelling the silences, dispelling the golem,
Yeah.
dispelling the fatal bonds, all those things are quite huge. Bloodseeker also doesn't want to be lifted up in the air. He doesn't want to use the BKB early on in the fight either. Versus the Brewmaster, that might be a necessity.
Yeah, and really not too much to burst the Brewmaster down with immediately before the fight starts, right?
Nope.
They only
nope.
have the Earth Spirit silence, but the rest of his damage output takes quite a while to get going.
Yeah, you have stuns, but you don't have the burst. I guess Rupture into a swap is your best bet, but this is a tanky hero. It's not gonna work in level 1 swap. It kind of sucks in terms of range.
It certainly does, but in the terms of burst damage, I guess that their last pick that they have left over is an offlaner, and offlaners don't do burst damage all that well.
Centaur, and I mean, Amiga are banning out the Slark, so they might be thinking this could be an offlane seeker, which is it's not out of the.
I mean, Boom has spent half of this tournament playing offlane Wraith King, so
True.
you know.
Gyro without much buff. I'm never a fan of this, but he's the type of hero that stands his ground, and that is a big deal. He buys both the BKB and the Satanic, so removing the silences, the fatal bonds, all of those things are gonna be quite nice for him. Overall, it's a good Gyro pick. I just don't like that they don't have any buffs for him.
Exactly. He's not exactly. He can't go Superman mode, I like to call it. You don't have a Superman draft where you have this one guy who you just give all the buffs to, and he can take it all. And Dawnbreaker, I mean, a little bit more disable, a little bit more burst damage as well, but that is burst physical as opposed to the center. And this is very much a backup sort of hero as opposed to the frontliner who goes in first. So Atlantic has a hell of a lot of work to do this game. He's got great backup though, like amazing follow up, but he does have to be the one that goes in.
Yeah, but I wasn't impressed with his performance in the previous game, and he actually had somebody to play with. Who does he play with now? Narman, Ducales, they don't really allow you to get kills. Boom can, but I think Team Tickles are gonna be having to bring in the numbers in this game a lot of times. And early game, even if you bring the numbers, the split is still the ultimate team fight tool.
Yes, exactly. That is in the window where you can just win fights by bringing all five to a fist fight. You're working into the brewmaster, and you're also going to not have your rupture available if you think that the Pangolier will be there, because otherwise you need him to stop off that rolling thunder. You will not win versus brew and Pangol at the same time. No way.
Yeah, it's very hard to do, but I'm looking at Shad here. Shad for me is the X factor. Azantic, he might have a tough job this time around, so I'm actually okay with him being on the back foot a bit and putting more emphasis in the farm. But if Team Tickles are fighting, Shad needs to be in the vicinity, and he has to be careful not to be dying in those fights. It is not an easy job to do so. If he does it properly, Team Tickles can win. If not, I think the Amiga, they have it in the bag again.
Yeah, I feel very confident standing behind you on that. This Bloodseeker can absolutely get out of control, become an absolute menace, run over everybody, because he has a lot of these turnaround tools at his disposal, right? Like the moment where you think you're going to kill him and instead somebody dies and he doubles his HP, you can get several of those moments in a single fight with good backups from the Solar Guardian, from a nice swap, from the rock dropping, etc. There's a lot of those chances, and in general, the synergy with Fatal Bonds, right? Everybody getting low. Bloodseeker loves that. But yeah, that is the carry that needs to do a bunch of the heavy lifting earlier on already.
We love people getting low as well, because then that means there's gonna be so many kills in a game. What the hell is that? If that is what angels look like, I don't want to see one.
You're gonna go down into hell with Warlock, Doom, and the rest of the fellas?
Okay, now that's a tough one. But is there a place where people are pretty, right? Is there like is that option available?
Sweden.
Okay, makes sense. I'm moving. Anyways, so we still didn't really give our predictions to who wins. We gave our ideas of what needs to happen for each of the team to actually make a good game happen for themselves. But Kips, Tickles or Namiga?
Tickles or Amiga, they did tempo pretty well once. I'm gonna say they're going to do it well once again. I have faith in Team Tickles. They got all the tools once again. It's not a shutout in the draft, so show me the outplay.
Wow, you really like being wrong today, don't you, Kips?
I do.
Okay. I really like what the Amiga have. I think if the gyro hits critical mass, and he has every tool to do so. So, Crystallis, Aghanims, Satanic, you get that early on. Bye-bye. Game is over. You just stand your ground, and I don't know if Tickles can kill you. You don't have to go high ground, but you can just be on the aggressive, right? If you're not getting kicked into the enemy base, swapped into the enemy base, you're gonna be fine. But the ward does get the ward in the mid lane, so Malrine is not gonna be having the extra vision, and there will be extra gold for Team Tickles. So overall, a pretty good start for them. But this mid lane is something that interests me quite a lot. I've seen Earth Spirits win, I've seen Pangos win, so for me, this is a skill-based matchup.
Yep, and we have two very skilled players on their respective heroes here as well. Although if you had to ask me like which one is the more iconic hero combination, it would definitely be Malrine on the Pango.
Yeah, I just wasn't impressed with how Xantic played the Earth Spirit as well. I expected more from him, for sure. And Malrine, well, not missing a creep just yet. He will be eating a kick there. And one thing that we've seen these Earth Spirits do well is push in the wave.
Yes. Malrine is going to have to contend with a lot of... Oh, the side lane. I wanted to talk about this lane because that is a lot of physical damage into a Treant Protector who does not have a lot of armor to start off with whatsoever, and not a core with him who can defend him or even wants to defend him at all.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be going aggressive with every flak cannon, with every Nature's Grasp and Leech Seed that you have, so that Boom and Armin are low. If Boom and Armin have enough HP, they're gonna be killing Pantomim over and over and over again.
So here we see the outcome of that decision, and
Bye-bye. He just
Boom.
came back to the lane.
Gives no hoots. Zero.
Yep. Unit, he really doesn't do that much damage, and well, the Treant now, he's not gonna be coming back to a lane anytime soon. This is gonna be a problem for Unit, and of course, Boom is already gonna be coming forward, making sure to establish dominance here in this lane.
Exactly. This is like, hey guys, this man is not a rocket barrage. We can just stuff him into his locker.
Do you think Gyro is the kind of guy who's gonna be bragging about getting dominated by the Dawnbreaker? You don't have to answer that. And Tickles, 1k gold lead. That top lane is gonna be going well for them. Bottom lane is gonna be going well for them as well, which is expected for a Seeker. And this laning stage, this time around, Tickles are the one that are gonna be winning it. And you talked about tempo. This definitely helps with it.
Yeah, it does. This bottom lane also looking really nice for them so far. Jiva, of course, not yet at the Drunken Brawler, let me smack you around stage of his levels, but that is Shad a lot of time to rack up the CS.
I'm seeing Pantomime now being a little bit more conservative with his approach. I like this a lot more. Just use your spells multiple times in quick succession. Make sure that they're low and they cannot turn on you. But sometimes when you're playing against a new lane versus something that's not being played all that much, then you can make mistakes. Yulnit tries to dodge the Starbreaker, will be successful, but the damage is very, very high. He will not be getting himself away. The Healing Lotus might actually survive because it's now down with a hit, and Yulnit will be okay.
That's Pantomime coming back to the lane
Cancel
just in time.
Cancelled salve with the way off there, so the Gyro will stay super low, and Shad is now a race car. And even Azante comes over with the kick and the roll. Zibe will be taken down for sure, as Shad is just gonna continue to run around this lane super fast, as everybody is missing some type of HP. Of course, 2 heroes did die, so now it's gonna be a bit slower for him.
Yeah, and it's almost like Ads heard us saying that he was a little inactive in the previous game because, you know, rotations on level 5 from carries, you see that this top lane is a slaughter.
Yep, Boom will be going down, and Pantomime are going for Narman. He wants all the revenge, but with the creeps there and no armor on you, you know how it would end with Narman killing you as well. As the denies here onto the creeps, Pantomime, poor guy, he's getting nothing. Narman, he is tipping Zibe, though I think he was meaning to tip Pantomime, just misclicked there.
You get nothing, good day, sir. Well, at the very least, Pantomime got a bunch of experience there, so that is nice for him. But Dawnbreaker now level 4, second level of the Celestial Hammer. They're going to be able to shove this lane in and do whatever they want. Like, dive the tower.
Like right now, go for the tower. Under the tower, though, we have extra armor on the Gyro. They see him clearly, not any longer. And Boom, no, he cannot die here. It's gonna be really bad if he does. Pantomime is running forward. Nice stun to save him there in the end, and he has a healing style, so Boom will be able to continue to farm. As Yulnit, I don't know if I can say the same thing for him.
No, he has not been getting to touch creeps very much, has he? And on top of that, he has constantly been brought low. Like, Boom really knowing what he's doing for his bottom lane every single time he goes in. It's like, if I don't die, it is totally worth it for me to make sure to low.
I mean, there's this one thing that is going really well for Namiga, and that is the mid lane. And overall, I guess Gyro and the Dawnbreaker are dead even in CS, 19-5 to 19-5. So it is okay-ish for this Gyro. It is not a disaster. It could have been there if he had died underneath his tower again. Nice
yeah, absolutely. The Dawnbreaker is getting a lot out of it though. That's gonna be Soul Ring, nice little bit of extra armor versus all of the flag spam, and then, well, hopefully buying the chainmail first on those phase boots as well.
Pantomime now has the living armor, so that's going to be helping versus the physical damage of these two in the top lane. That's pretty important. I'm not sure what Pantomime is doing. Here. Oh, they are going forward. They want Boom dead just before the Wisdom Runes. Might be a good time to fight. Swashbuckle gonna be used. Malrine will run away for now. Pops the DD, going for Narman. There's gonna be a lot in terms of right clicks. Boom has to be careful. Nice stun before the Rolling Thunder going into tier 2. You're not gonna be doing it.
No, you are not, and that pushes you off of any chance of contesting that Wisdom Rune on the bot side, or top side, excuse me, but also bot, look at how far in Shad is right now.
He's fast, everybody is low, and he knows that he really cannot die, especially with the phase boots there. They wanted the Wisdom Rune, the Tickles is coming over, the roll is gonna be there as well as Malrine will be coming forward. Rolling Thunder, still available, and will be going for Zanti, who still, he has stolen the Wisdom Rune, but will be giving his life away for it. You're not getting out of this stun.
No, you are not. Tickles, I guess he didn't really overstay there. Malrine doesn't have much of a mana pool left, but that is both of the Wisdom Runes depriving the already kind of struggling supports of Nemiga of even more experience.
Yeah, and their level 6s are very important. The support level 6s in general in this game are very, very important. Nemiga, they cannot get kills without them. I mean, Malrine can only do so much in Pantomime, while he's gonna be going down as the gyro could be next on the menu. Boom coming forward. Oh, the creeps blocked him in. He couldn't get to the tower. Unit is dead. If nobody TPs in, he's just gone. Yep.
Yeah, and they're gonna leave him to his fate.
Poor guy. Just gets taken down. He was having so much fun with the Slark. He is not having fun with his gyro. And usually we see the gyro ahead of the Seeker. Not in this game. The Seeker is farming to his heart's content. The gyro, he's not farming at all.
No, he is not. Like, previously, at least he got to make use of the fact that the creeps are constantly pushed into him. But now, Phantom. Well, so no, good juggle.
Very nicely done there. They had to attack the tower as they didn't get the aggro at all, but the second they did, then he transferred it, and the Dawnbreaker gets herself to the base. Also has the Solar Guardian available, so if he wants to join inside of a fight immediately, he definitely can do so. And level 5 Gyro can do, I think. Yep. Zibe, he has the split, will be going for it. The question is, how much can you do with it? Can they punish Shad? Swashbuckle doesn't connect, but they can punish Boom. That's gonna be the big kill if they can get it. No Rupture, meaning you cannot slow down Malrine. It's just gonna be rolling through. Boom, nice astral pull into the Rolling Thunder, and they get themselves a kill. Nice turnaround from Nemiga. Finally a clean fight for them.
Very well done. Not really enough damage over on these two heroes to actually do anything to Jibbo once he pops his ult, and they didn't have a good way to prevent it either.
But they did force it out, and it's not pushing the tower, so I think Tickles are overall okay with it, especially now with Zante coming to the bottom lane. That means they want to continue with the aggression on this lane, and without the split, they most definitely can. This tower will fall.
Yeah, it's taken so much damage already, it really doesn't need more than a little tap actually.
Both of the supports of Tickles are level 6 skips, and that's pre-minute 10. The supports on the other side, they can dream of a level 6, especially the Dark Willow, who isn't even close to 5 at the moment.
No, like at least Pantomime got something out of that kerfuffle on top, right? Some kills, deaths.
When there's a lot of death.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Sure. Malrine gets the regen, so that's gonna be nice for the Pango, but a lot is on him. They really need his defusal as fast as possible, as currently Nemiga, they don't have the damage. They need his defusal, and they need the level 6 on Hellscream. Defusal they might get. The level 6 on Hellscream, that's gonna take a long time.
It's gonna take a long time, and they can't even really safely give him a lane, because the only lane that is, I mean, he is on mid. Normally that's where you park a support, right? Corley leaves the lane, support gets 6 on the mid, but if you misstep here, they just dive you. You die.
Yeah, they know just how stronger they actually are. The Shad can also TP to the mid lane if he sees it as a good opportunity to go for a fight, as they do have the Solar Guardian. Team Tickles can easily bring 5 heroes to this mid lane, but 3 might be enough to take care of the tower, as the siege creep is still alive.
One more glyph, but Ads can quite easily tank some of these hits as well.
They don't care. Swashbuckle, the Golem will get dropped. They're coming in with the split. The Tickles will die. And Malrine dropping low. He gets himself to the side. He's trying to survive. No Rolling Thunder for you. Boom. He gets him into the ground. Unit is also coming to fight. He has to be very, very careful about what he does. And boom, going in. He wants to get the kill. Won't be able to do it. Unit is still alive. There's the roll from Atlantic. And a nice lift onto him. The stun on Unit once again being protected by the living armor. But ultimately, he will die. Zibe is on a killing spree. Gets another kill. Narman will be next on the menu. Nice kick. And he's trying to finish off Phantom, but he just got the overgrowth from all of those kills. Blade Mail, though, will be landing it on him as Atlantic tries to go for the roll away. Not going to be happening. The Bedlam finishes him off. Nemiga, they get their level 6s. They win this fight. Shad is too late.
That was really only down to the fact that they actually get the levels during the fight, though. And beautiful swap from Narman in the middle there. Not only does he make sure that the AoE of the Cursed Crown that's currently on the Dawnbreaker does not go off in the middle of the fight, but he also puts himself in a position to get the ranged last hit onto Onit, who might have otherwise gotten out.
Yeah, that could have been a real issue. If the gyro would have survived, it really would have hurt them. But
Yes.
you always have the vision because of the thirst, so they probably would have been able to run him down.
In all of this chaos, though, I mean, that is a phenomenal TP from Onit. They're just really not expecting Boom to lay in this much damage.
Okay, so overall they still did lose a tower though. And that is a huge deal, as we are gonna be seeing Ulnit caught again. The Terra is being threatened and Ulnit will survive. No Rupture was used. Narman being chased currently. Swashbuckle will be missed.
And this is one of the results of losing this tower, right? One of the reasons that Team Tickles is not afraid to lose heroes and spend cooldowns in pursuit of getting those towers down is that they have a very mobile lineup. They have a lot of vision thanks to the Bloodseeker as well. So they're going to be able to chase people down in this less protected area now.
They're giving some time to the Gyro to come back into the game. He's still dead last in terms of the cores, but this is a Gyro. He is going to be farming at incredible speeds. Still, when I see a Seeker that really crushes the laning phase, the hero really does farm well, if that is the way that he starts the game.
He goes really fast, and he gets to go from camp to camp so fast as well, as long as the rest of his team keeps on making their moves, and they are. Ads was currently looking for an opportunity to put some hurt on Malrine. Does not actually get it.
Dark Willow slowed down. Will they go for the roll? No, Hellscream is out. The Golem is available. Every single ulti is up. Apart. Okay, now even the Terrorize and the Bedlam are there. The Gyro's ulti, well, he's using it to farm, not really looking to fight at all.
And Hellscream is prioritizing the Lotus Orb in this game, trying to get up a, I don't want to say like a solution, but at the very least a punishment for the Rupture as fast as possible, because the Rupture really does put Malrine into a very awkward position.
It will take some time for him as he doesn't have the Arcane Boots, but he did get a Perseverance, so that's nice. Boom has been caught. The Cinder Brew will get ignited. He does pop the Blade Mail, and Malrine, very nice usage of his ulti there. Swashbuckle, boom, will get taken down. That Bedlam damage, it's sometimes ridiculous.
It is. That's one of the reasons why I don't think Dark Willow really got nerfed.
No.
I didn't touch that.
Not really. No, let's see. They're gonna be going for the Root Pantomime. Also, the swap, he goes for an aggressive swap. He doesn't save Azantic, which means he cannot leave. He's gonna get stunned up by the Cursed Crown, not gonna be able to get himself out. And Narman, you've just put yourself in a really bad position. A bonus kill after a bonus kill. So instead of only bringing down the Dawnbreaker, they get themselves two.
Yeah, that must be a misclick.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
I don't really see any other way. And now, boom, he is here again, but his teammates just died here and they have not backed off.
No, Shad TPing, not really. Boom. Will be trying to kill the Dark Willow, and now the Golem gets dropped. A lot of damage being done by the Warlock. He does finish off the Dark Willow. Zibe could be some trouble as well. Goes for a TP out, understands the dangers currently of staying here, and he gets himself away. That is a Golem and your core for a support. Another win for Namiga. Every single engagement is going their way, and this is what I was saying. Shad, I really wanted to see him in these fights.
Same. I understand, right? He's saying, okay, I nearly have BKB, just keep playing like you did previously a little bit. You have that space, shove out some waves, see if you can get a pick off, but that was... do you call that a cock-up cascade? Those were mistakes leading into other mistakes.
Now you don't have a Golem. You do have the Solar Guardian, but if Dawnbreaker is the only hero that's being caught, it's going to be a problem. One good thing for Tickles is they still haven't lost a single tower, so all of their tier 1s are up, whilst Namiga, they don't have a single one, meaning that it's still Tickles that are going to be deciding when and where to fight, and Ulnit, it has been decided that he's dead. Or Guardian,
let's see if that's
stun.
correct.
It's gonna take a little bit longer to finish him off. The Living Armor is keeping alive. Rolling Thunder. Not gonna be on a good
Here's
roll
shot.
there. Now the Rupture will get used. Malrine already stops that one, but they've slaughtered the support. And going forward with the Earth Spirit, I don't think that you're finishing off the Pango. However, Boom is looking very much dead. Turns around with the Starbreaker, changes absolutely nothing. And the Earth Spirit has to get himself away. And Xantic doesn't have that much mana, and he will use the remainder of it to TP himself out. Another very unsuccessful fight.
Yep, I mean, you get to kill the Gyrocopter, so he's dangling at the bottom of the list for a bit longer, but, well, the bottom of his own list, because Boom has now fallen off from that phenomenal start
Shad.
into having
Shad
given
is
up his
dead.
life several times now. Oh no.
Overgrowth, Bedlam, goodbye, my friend. Hellscream gets the kill. Namiga are playing so fast and so clean. The only downside is that Ulnit is dying, but if his team continues to play like this, he's gonna have so much space to play with. Brewmaster has his ulti. Zibe is setting up, going for Narman. There's the Cinder Brew, and this lady, she will get caught and brought down a couple of crits there. Zibe just slaps her from behind. It's gonna be 2 heroes dead in quick succession. Namiga are everywhere. Wherever you look, it's their hero.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, and not having to spend the Primal Split there does mean that now, well, I'd say that a couple of tier 1s are going to start falling, especially if Boom does not get out of dodge fast enough here.
Let's see. Boom has been caught. Zibe,
He's just getting slapped.
he's doing so much damage. What the hell is happening? He's gonna try to go through the portal, and well, the homing missile will chase him across the map. He got himself out at least.
So much damage from the Spirit Vessel as well, and
They're chasing. They're like, homing missile will connect. Let's just kill him. Rolling Thunder gonna be used, coming from the side. Shad will get stunned up. He takes some damage. He cannot get the Rupture
BKB's
off.
flying in.
Solar Guardian gonna be used. There's just gonna be a bonus kill. Boom. He's gone. The homing missile in perfect timing. Oh, come on, Kips. This is... You can't write this stuff up. Is this scripted? What the hell is going on? At least the Ulnit dies again. I don't know what the hell he was doing that deep. Probably thinking the Team Tickles are going to be TPing top to help their cores. But Namiga again are the ones that are getting a better trade on the map.
Shad's courier turned around with the BKB on it, on top of his corpse. That was several kinds of the worst timing I've ever seen, or the best, depending on if you're rooting for Namiga here. But I'd say they don't need that luck at this point.
They don't really need it. They make their own luck. The way that they're playing, it really is no surprise that everything is going their way in the past couple of minutes. And look at Hellscream. We're kind of feeling bad for this Dark Willow and how the hero had nothing, very low levels. 5, 1, and 9. Lotus Orb ready, killing everything on the map. Golem, will he be able to get the gold? Nice one on the gold just before it expires.
That feels fantastic, just spending a 30 seconds cooldown and get that juicy extra bonus. A long way towards the Boots Bearing, which also, once again, very important in a game versus a Warlock, versus the Earth Spirit. Hellscream is going to do so much for his team, and he's tanking up all the while as well. You have to not forget that these supports over on Namiga are now not nearly the easy targets that they used to be.
Look at Malorine's item. He's a genius. He is a genius. He is gonna Rolling Thunder. He's gonna eat the Rupture, take so much damage during it, and then Satanic Swashbuckle and heal himself up. That is just beautiful.
Yeah, I see no gaps in that plan either.
The Gyro, he did overtake the Seeker. There was so much of a difference between the two, and now the Gyro is ahead. He does have the BKB, doesn't have the Aghanim Scepter just yet, but Gyro is ready to fight if it does come down to it. We're seeing the win probability now being in favor of Namiga. Not really all that weird, as they do have a 6k gold lead. Brewmaster will have Radiance fairly soon. Items are just flying out.
under attack.
Yep, and what's more, they're also currently flying their Gyrocopter right into the pit, where with a little help of the Solar Crest, they're going to make easy work of Roshan.
Oh, the scan was used, but this is gonna be going down fast, so Tickles, they need to be getting here. They don't have the Golem. We'll be having it in 9 seconds. Shad, he's still on the top lane. His teammates, they need to get here super fast. Rose dropping low, and Zibe getting out of the pit. He's thinking about going for a split, but for now just wants to break the smoke.
Going to be successful, but Roche is not dead yet. If the ads should go right now.
Oh,
It
nice
rusted.
block there. Unit now has the Aegis. The golem will get dropped. Can he go for the split? And he gets it off, taking so much damage in the process. The upheaval is still great. Panther trying to get himself away from that one, but Unit running in with a BKB. He just doesn't care. Atlantic will be able to throw himself away to call this very low and very dead as well. There will be a homing missile onto Shad. Luckily, he's very speedy and should be able to live through this. Or will he? Zibe, he wants that lift. Won't be able to get it.
Absolutely gorgeous. The fact that Jibe gets to live after also interrupting that roll, he saves the Aegis for his team and then
They caught him!
also saves the fight.
Gyro, another homing missile. Now
No.
he's out. They needed Malrine there.
Radiant's bottom
Not this
is
time.
under attack.
Yeah, the timing from ads was perfect.
Dire's middle
He
tower
would have gotten that for sure, but
Radiant structures.
4
Shad.
Brewlings.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Shad was again late. He was
Yeah.
again late. It just, he had to be there to kill Zibe. If he was there, Zibe dies, and then we might be seeing a completely different fight. I think we're seeing a different fight. Oh, that's Antic.
We're
Let's
seeing
go
a
for
fight
a
right
hit.
now.
He still has an Aegis, so that's not the easiest target to roll away. Malrine running forward. The upheaval is slowing him down. The silence will connect. He still has the Satanic, and he has to go for that swashbuckle. Himself up. He is back up to full. He just doesn't care. He has been ruptured. Going for the Rolling Thunder, but they do bring down Shad. Oh, Malrine just doesn't care. He's surviving for everything. They cannot kill him. The shield crash will be used, and no, he will not die. But Team Tickles, they will, GG will be called as the league at 23 minutes and 20 seconds. They are crushing it in this grand final, Kips, as they
Yes, they are.
really did show Tickles how you play Dota. Malrine, especially MVP in this game for sure.
Absolutely, and I think I'm starting to see it. I think I'm starting to see the quality difference there, where really this game did not have to be as bad for Team Tickles as it turned out to be. They had solid advantage after the laning stage. They were making the right moves. They had Shad in position to either join fights early or for his team to take it just a little easier and give him the time to finish that BKB. But instead, there was a disconnect there. They lose a bunch of heroes, delaying that BKB of Shad, giving so much space for Namiga to come back into the game, and he has lost all of his advantage by the time he actually comes in. And that is a tough disagreement to solve in like the 10 minutes between two games, right? Because you're going to have this discussion now. Hey, are you guys going too fast, or am I going too slow? And sometimes there is no right answer to that. Either of them would be good if you would have just been on the same page. And that is what they need to make happen now. In these couple of minutes that they get this, they need to get back on the same page, or this is going to cost them more games versus whoever they play against. It does not have to be Namika.
It was very fun to see Zibe there after the game. He's not even happy. I told you he's always straight face,
Yeah.
and he's explaining something to his team. Like, guys, we didn't finish this game off in 21 minutes, and we could have, so we need to do it better next time around. But the thing is, this grand finals, yesterday, it was scheduled for 18 CEST. We put it at 15 so that the players are more fresh, we get better Dota. And I was still thinking at 18 CST, the grand final is still going to be played, Kips. There is a good chance, if this trend continues, that at 18 CST, we're already going to be done with the Malta Vibes 4. But for now, we are done with game number 2, and we're going to be going for a break. Maybe for one last time before the tournament ends.
Oh, esport. You and I have come a long way. It was such humble beginnings. As we gathered in small groups, we were professionals right from the start. Passionate, organized, and ready to rumble. We dreamed big, and surely enough, our parents supported us at every step of the way. Didn't they? Fired up by all this love, it wasn't long until we caught the scent of competition. To be honest with you, it wasn't always that easy. Joe here, he had to take on 2 side jobs to afford playing professionally. It's gonna get better, Joe. Fist bump. Some of you dared to not even call this a sport. And look where we are today. An endless stream of esports events every year. Bet you didn't see that coming, Mom and Dad. And you know what? We have been with you every single step of the way.
Dream of working with people you watch on screen. Exclusive esports opportunities handpicked just for you. Candidate profile to raise above competition. Let 10GG handle routines. Make a step towards your dream today.
Very exciting game 1 and a very one-sided game 2 here in the grand finals of the Malta Vibes 4. I'm Harry Freak, joining me is Kips, and we might be watching the last game of the tournament. But Kips, you are gonna give us a light at the end of the tunnel. Tell us that this is not gonna be a 3-0. Tell me I was wrong at the start of the day.
All right, you're putting me in front of a heavy task, but you know what? Here's the thing. When you see like a really skilled athlete do something really hard, like you know, an ice skater, figure skater, going for that triple lutz, the setting up for like the quad axel, right? And you see them landing the first one or going for the second one, a spin in the air. Like all the ability is there. Of course, in this case, our athlete unfortunately fell and broke his leg. About, let's say, 12 minutes into the game. But, you know, once he heals, the question is if he heals, the potential to do it again is there. And what I have seen from Team Tickles so far is if they can get themselves back on the same page, like the skill to take down the Miga is there. They've demonstrated that throughout the past 2 games. The question is, are they actually going to be able to fix the issues that stand in the way of them expressing that skill in these short windows of time that they've been given? That I very much doubt, but you know, we're going to have to see that. Maybe they did, or maybe the Amiga will get complacent.
I was here hoping for optimism, Kips, and then she gives me an analogy of a broken bone, which takes at least 30, 40 days to heal, sometimes a
Yes.
lot more than that. Unless we're in the Harry Potter universe, I'm hoping we are, because then there they grow bones in less than a month. But anyways, I am hoping the Team Tickles can definitely show their teeth here, that they can, if not win, at least give Namiga a run for their money. Though even in the first game, I think it was Malreen's mistakes that put Team Tickles on a road where they could have won, rather than Team Tickles setting things up for themselves. So Amiga, make a small mistake. Team Tickles capitalize on it, and let's get ourselves a real grand finals. Let's see 5 games. Last grand finals ended in 4. It would be an upgrade for this one to end in 5, not 3. Thank you. If that is a possibility, but we will be finding out. Currently, we're waiting for the teams to actually choose the sides, choose the picks. Obviously, I don't think those things make a difference whatsoever. I don't think any team has a preference. It's just either Radiant or first pick. Give me something out of those two, and I will be fine. After what we've seen in the first 2 games, do you think the initial bans of Namiga are changing, or are they just gonna be targeting Atlantic with all of those bans?
No, I think they got everything they wanted. They got Atlantic's 3 best heroes out, and then Atlantic chooses to put himself on an Earth Spirit that has now kind of fallen flat for 2 games in a row. And
Yep.
I'm very sure that he is going to try something different now. But especially in that game 2, I think Namiga were just not interrupting their opponent while they made a mistake. So I would not be changing the plan around for now.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's obvious that they have targeted Xantig in a right way, and that he's not feeling comfortable on the Earth Spirit, considering that they're not picking anything else, might be a showing that he doesn't have that wide of a hero pool. So I'm gonna be going through his picks, and we are gonna be going through the picks of Game 3 as it is read.
See if we at the very least see once again a different approach from Team Tickles. I mean, I'm saying once again a different approach, like there wasn't a pretty decent road to victory for them in the previous map. Their laning stage certainly looked good. The way that they played that top lane was quite excellent.
He still plays a mean Pango and a pretty good Shaker. So that is something that Atlantic can't play. Pango obviously was taken from him, and Shaker, Tickles are banning it themselves, as well, Melreen on the Shaker has been
Yes.
godly. I think that's the right way to put it. He has played some. Was it him playing the Invoker? I want to see. Yeah, he did play the Invoker as well, though I think that's not the type of hero you want versus the Amiga.
And once again, completely targeting out Atlantic and just throwing the Pugna in there for good measure. This series has now, developed a little meta of its own, and Pugna has made it immediately into the highest valued. That does mean that they could be setting themselves up to try a burst physical hero. The Templar Assassin, we haven't seen her yet, but she used to be third in line third in line for the throne. Has not made an appearance yet in this series, which I'm quite surprised about. Like maybe it has to do with the hero specializations of the players in this game, but I would have thought that she would at least get a nod somewhere.
I think the whole dynasty got dethroned. The Sven, the PA, and the TA. So, won't have it. Team Tickles, they get themselves the Pango this time around, and Amiga straight into a Muerta. So they don't really care about countering you with the Rupture or something. They're just gonna get the Muerta, which both Hellscream and Illnit have been using really, really well throughout this tournament. So Team Tickles, it is gonna be tough dealing with this hero, but you do have Atlantic on a hero that he's very comfortable on, and this is the first time that is the case in the grand finals. Hopefully, this is the change that they were looking for.
Exactly, this could definitely be an X factor, and the Muerta, she is definitely fragile as well. She can die to magic burst damage. I have been liking the insane amount of utility these post fours get out of the dead shot, though. There is absolutely nothing that can change my mind on the fact that getting forced repositioning on a spell like that with such range is ridiculous. But It has been looking very good, and now with the Treant Protector as well, they keep the flexibility of that pick open, and they have themselves somebody to, well, protect a potential core Muerta from physical damage early on in the game.
And also you're choosing where to reposition them to. It's not like
Yes.
they're choosing where they're running to, or they're running to directly towards their base, like from some of the other spells. Nope, this is completely different. Also, one thing that our viewers now can do: imagine the odds on Team Tickles to win this series. So if anybody there really believes in this team, maybe they will be listening to Kips' prediction from the start of the series, 3-2 for Team Tickles. We have some amazing odds at pinnacle.gg, so be sure to go there and check them out. This is not the only title that we have for this one. Obviously, it will be the last series of the tournament, so not much in terms of Dota. But you do have to be 18 plus, and we do advise you to bet responsibly and carefully, and only put down as much as you're willing to spend. As Team Tickles, they get a Weaver again. They really did utilize this hero well in game one. It looked pretty solid.
The amount of lane pressure that they get out of it, the amount of information that they get out of it, the fact that you have pretty scot-free magic damage harass coming out constantly, all look very good in the lane and then afterwards in the game. So if you have some heroes that can capitalize on it, and a Pangolier is certainly the kind of hero that can bring in the damage onto an isolated target and just bounce him to death, then that is a pretty solid pick.
For sure. With the Treant pick, I'm leaning more and more towards the Muerta carry, and also with the Tidehunter ban. Because Tidehunter is the best laner with the Muerta by far. I have seen some of them be decent with her, but none of them as strong as the Tide. Team Tickles, they're going to be getting themselves a Grimstroke. Grimstroke plus Weaver, insane combo. Be it a Weaver support or a core, he really does benefit from the Inkswell.
Absolutely. Makes him phenomenally hard to kill, as was the fact that he's going to be running into whichever target he wants, gets to bring the stun to whoever he needs to pop it on. And it's just a phenomenal early game. I mean, if this is a support Weaver too, both of them work. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they didn't want to try the Dark Willow instead, because they do also have the Pangolier, but the Inkswell will do the same work for the Pangolier. And you do get then later on the added utility of the leash from the Grimstroke ult.
I think the Purge is the most important thing here. You're playing versus the Overgrowth as a Pango. That can be a very annoying spell, not if you have a Grimstroke. So I think that might be the reason that they're looking towards the Grimstroke rather than at the Dark Willow, even though I agree it would have been amazing, especially versus Muerta. You know, you use the Pierce the Veil and you think you're safe. Not so much.
Definitely not. And this is a little bit of a different choice for Nemiga, because they don't have that much information of the opposing lineup not yet. You don't know an offlaner yet. You have no idea if that's a carry weaver or not. And if you pick a second support here, you will give away that that's a core Muerta or not. So this is a pick that requires a lot of consideration.
I would just get something that jumps into the backlines and kills the Grimstroke. A Centaur comes to mind as a really good one. That one I wouldn't want to give away. Anything else, not that big of a deal. I don't care. I just want the Nemiga to have the capability to deal with the Grimstroke, as the Inkswell can be very, very annoying to deal with.
Well, the Earthshaker, especially once the Aghanim Scepter is online, is a hero that can do that. And of course, they are playing with it a little bit here, because that could also be a pos for Earthshaker. Of course, we don't see that all that often these days. Mid Earthshaker very much preferred.
Especially versus the Pango, he'll be doing well versus him in lane. The only time I've seen the Shaker lose the mid lane is when he was playing versus the Invoker, versus the mana
the
drain.
Invoker.
Yep. But everything else, it was just a win for the Earthshaker, especially versus melee heroes.
Yes. That is the best pick you can make here, I think. You get Malrine, a hero that he is proficient in. I want to say beyond proficient. A menace on, how about that?
Yep.
You keep the identity of the Muerta a secret for a little longer if you pick something else that's flexible here. And yeah, I mean, that's offlane right there.
Yep.
So Muerta, we don't know.
Last time they played versus Team Tickles, that was in the in the group stage, they did play a Muerta, but they played a support Muerta with an offlane Tide. They also had the Treant Protector in the game, and they had Melrine on the mid lane Quap. But this time around, I think there's more chances of the Muerta to go for a position 1, as Yulna did play it a couple of times in this tournament. And these heroes, side of Team Tickles, well, they're not very tanky. But on the other hand, Muerta is great as a carry when there are tanky heroes as well. So I don't really think that's a good point to be made, as Team Tickles, they're the ones that are going to be playing the Timbersaw now.
All right. I think definitely in preparation for that Muerta to take to the safe lane as the carry there, Timbersaw is going at the very least to do well during the laning stage, even though of course there is potential for him to get waylaid and take a bunch of damage.
I don't know about this Timber. I am... Are you going to put the Pango in the offlane, or is this an offlane Timbersaw?
I think it's an offlane Timber.
You're playing versus 1 universal, 2 strength heroes, right? Shaker is strength still.
So you're saying you can get more out of it if it's mid lane?
Yes, I think so.
I'm just worried about the Pangolier not having a hard scaling enough game if you don't give him mid.
True, but I don't know. This is a rough one for
can be
me.
said for the Timber, right?
Yeah, that is true, and you have very limited lockdown, right? So yeah, maybe it's more important than that the Pango has a good game. I think that is the case. But if the Timbersaw has a bad game, he's not gonna be a hero.
No, useless.
Pango, on the other hand, even if he is having a kind of a okayish game, even bad one, the Rolling Thunder is still a spell that can be quite useful.
True. Very true. It just all depends on how they see the lanes panning out, I think. Like, the Timbersaw is going to do better in lane versus the Earthshaker than the Pango for sure. But on the other hand, I do think that the Pango suffers way more versus a Muerta +1. And Team Tickles have already got it sorted. Shad, Medusa, going back for the classics at the end there, just going to stand their ground and say, come at us.
I'm looking at this. How does it feel?
Split, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like they don't really have the synergy between their heroes other than the 2 supports. Yes. And I'm looking at this Timbersaw as the only source of the early kill potential, right? Yes. So the Grimstroke, I think, is going to have to do the heavy lifting. Wherever the Pango or the Timbersaw goes, he has to be there to make sure that the heroes actually die around them. And it is going to be Muerta in the position 1. And this Bane, I love the pick. As Medusa, you only get 1 item that purges things off, meaning that the Enfeeble will be a problem for you. Shad is not going to be doing damage. Boom and Atlantic, it's all on them.
Agreed. And if they both get the laning stage they want and they both get the items they want, right? The mid-game damage is actually sorted, and they have a ton of playmaking potential with the Weaver Vision, Pango going forward, Timber going forward, both with the with the Inkswell on them. But the counter engage remains strong from Nemiga, because we do have the Treant Protector being able to pop the ult, phenomenal stuns coming out from Malrine and Jibbe as well. They'll be able to make the plays, but Nemiga will be able to punish them. And this is already after the if both of them get a good laning stage. Because if they don't, you're playing a single running forward hero in either the Timbersaw or the Pango, whoever got the good lane, into a Bane. And Bane loves it when there's just one guy going forward. He is a big fan, loves to grab them and hold them in place for some extra long hugs and kisses.
So, Kips, it is $22,000 for the winner, $10,000 for the loser of the series. Boot camp in Malta with a 5-star hotel and nothing for the loser, right? Again, winner takes it all. $10,000 is nothing to laugh at, but you want more. Team Tickles already, they didn't go to Malta once. It got out of their hands versus Luna Galaxy. Now versus Nemiga, they're already 0-2. This could be the last game of the tournament, so let's get into it to see if it is gonna be that way. Namiga currently 2-0, and I really, really like their draft. But Team Tickles, from my side, if they start snowballing this, they actually have 4 heroes that can constantly fight and the Medusa that will be farming. If they can hit those timings, they can win the game. It's not gonna be easy. I don't have that much faith, but there is a shot.
There is a shot, exactly. And my faith after the first 2 games has suddenly been shaken, because before I was like, they have the potential to win this. The enemies are going to make mistakes as well. Team Tickles is the kind of team that can capitalize on that. And then in game 2 was
30 seconds to go.
quite the cavalcade of unforced errors, which is something that you never want to see in a Dota team. So I hope they got that ironed out, got their heads on straight, ready to give it some counterplay.
That's what we want to see. We don't want to see this one ending in a 3-0, even though from what we've seen in the first 2 games, there is good chance that that is exactly what's going to be happening. Malrine, you have to be careful here, as you can easily die, and well, they're going to be getting themselves away. It will be a 2-for-2 in terms of runes. No surprises there.
No surprises there. And the Bane making his way over to that side lane together with Shiba. This means that the Treant and the Mortar are going to be together on bot.
Yeah, Treant and Muerta, that is a formidable lane. I'm very curious to see how well the Timbersaw will do there. He's not as tanky as he used to be, and usually now you have to wait for that level 6 to really be a dominating force in the lane.
Exactly, and the Timbersaw does precisely the one thing that he hates: big single collapse. Already laying in the damage.
We're looking at the mid lane where Malrine is getting some denies, but we're also not looking at the bottom lane where Pantomim, this time around, he will be surviving a whole last lane. Boom and Narman, they did put in the pain on him. This time around, we'll do the same, but won't be getting the kill.
Did not expect the big burst damage from the Stroke of Fate to hit him that hard on Pantomim, but luckily enough for him, not punished this time. The benefit, though, is that there's a little bit more Dire creeps around right now, so if they don't manage to do anything about this around the Dire, that's actually going to push into the Mortar. She's going to be very happy with that indeed.
And they also got a couple of denies there, so boom, in terms of CS, he's not going to be starting the lane that hot. Top lane, talk to me about this one. This is an interesting one for sure, but I'm not seeing a lot of kill potential overall.
No, from neither side really. The Medusa could possibly die if she gets too many stacks of the axes on her, because the Weaver can do absolutely nothing to stop his enemies from going on Medusa, and in fact he is fragile himself. Maybe overestimated his tankiness there.
I really didn't think this was gonna happen, but this is what happens with the Weaver if you are not careful, as bottom lane Boom is dropping low, and well, he's gonna be dropping down. Namiga this time around, they're gonna be starting the game with a 2-0 start, and maybe that is a recipe for failure, because that's exactly what happened to Team Tickles in the previous one, and they lost easily.
Yeah, maybe you just shouldn't be killing your enemies. Who knows?
This is the time. I hope the Team Tickles didn't talk about the game all that much in the break, and they were talking more about, guys, project yourselves onto the beaches of Malta. You know, just try to get motivated even more. The motivation will only take you so far. If you're a weaker team, you just won't be able to win. 11 denies on Malrine. 12.
Yeah, why not? He is absolutely rocking ads in the mid lane, and that was to be expected, honestly. Like, as a Pango, you're always going to be able to get the last hits, but it's almost never possible for you to stop anybody from denying you. And in case of an Earthshaker, well, nobody stands a chance, so.
Zibe is also farming really well here, so we can expect a very early Helm of the Dominator. As he did get a Bracer, not really rushing it at all, and that Bracer will allow him to live very easily there in the top lane. 17 CS, all of the cores of Namiga doing well. Nobody from Team Tickles is being shut down, but they're definitely doing worse than their counterparts.
They are, yeah, and we are looking at a lineup that needs items and levels to get all of their cores going. You want a Diffusal before ads on the Pango starts to do anything. You want that Vanguard at the very least over on Boom before he starts to do anything. And of course the Medusa is not going to move anyway. She's slow as can be. So if those items aren't coming, the moves aren't coming.
A Swarm was used on Hellscream. He does try to heal himself up there with the Brain Stab, but will be taking down Ducalis. The bird doesn't go for the Weaver, and because it's Zibe, he cannot get the kill. But Shad is dropping low, has the stick charges, will be fine. Healing Lotus is available as well. Zibe, he is the one that has to run into the tower if he wants to live.
Beautiful leverage there of the level 2 on the Mystic Snake. I did not expect them to go that hard on this lane, but Shad is right in that both of these are rather low range heroes. And Feeble Man. What a spell.
Right clicks do nothing. Literally underneath the tower, he's not taking any damage from Shad.
Oh, Shad, more like sad.
Yeah, remove the H from your name, my friend. It has no place there any longer.
Spain without the S.
As I really didn't like that Hellscream when the Swarm connected on him there, when they were diving, that he didn't kill the Swarm first and then wanted to fight. He just ran into Shad to make sure that he takes even more damage. That could have gone better. Yulnit, it does bring down Narman. And, well, they're chasing down Boom in the bottom lane as well. He's surrounded by trees. He hates trees, and now we know why. Because they're just murdering psychopaths. Yulnit, he'll be getting the kill, but we all know who set it up.
Yep. That was really the wrong route to take for our demented goblin friend. So much damage from the Nature's Grasp there. And,
Is he demented?
I mean, certainly not all there.
I don't know, goblins always seemed like a bunch that wasn't all there anyway, so...
Yeah, I guess for his race he's doing quite well.
They're smart, but crazy. Shad just gets destroyed. The snake doesn't even connect back. He had the 10-1 charges to work with, but even if he had used them, the question is, do you live?
Well, does that mean they get a kill over on Nalreen on the mid lane then? Because Dugalis did leave his Medusa high and dry to make this rotation. It's a double damage for ads, which is pretty decent.
Very
a lot of work for him, but yeah.
Very interesting thing there that doesn't happen too often unless you're playing versus the Axe, is that the Medusa had mana before she died, because the snake returned at the second she died, and then when you clicked on her it looked like she had 180 mana. Shouldn't have been the case, but it is how Dota works sometimes.
Yeah, that is some same server tick kind of stuff right there.
It's under attack.
Marine, he has the Echo, but first he's gonna be dealing with the ward here. Even with the Echo there, I doubt you get the kill, so maybe it's just smart to push him away. The Spango is farming really well, but in terms of experience, he's still gonna be slightly behind the Shaker. Still, in terms of farm, he's up there.
Yeah, he's definitely held his own. He's got the means to make these rotations, and he was checking in the triangle to see if there's any stacks there, perhaps. I mean, there is a Beastmaster on the enemy team. Would be a good moment to put that DD rune to good use and take some extra economy away from the enemy, but no such luck. And Ads just has to use it for the regen instead.
For now, they only put the stacks onto the statue area. Shad slowed down quite a lot. He'll be fine. They're just poking. He has the 1 charges to play with. He's not gonna die.
He wants a Midas, which is why he's currently not rocking any boots, but that is most of his mana gone from a level 2 Nature's Grasp just because he is slower than the Wolves of Ice Rack.
Swift as the Wolves of Ice Rack.
The slows are coming.
Yep.
You can't hide.
He cannot hide, he cannot run. He does have the wands, but now he doesn't have anything else left in the tank. The wand will get broken. So we were already changing his name, so maybe now it can be Ron.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh, poor guy. Doesn't get to keep his name, doesn't get to keep his life. He finished the Midas.
Yep, that's good.
He made the sacrifice, so he got the payoff.
And the new Midas, it's not that big of a deal that you're dead with it. Imagine how bad he would feel if it was the old Midas without the second charge. That would be pretty much a disaster.
I mean, you just hold off with buying it until you've respawned, right?
That makes you feel better?
It's all about the moral gains.
A unit is in trouble. He did use the scan just in time and gets back into the tower. Perfect for him. He even broke the smoke. Team Tickles, Pantomime is gonna be coming over. He kinda offers himself up, and Ulnit now comes over to fight. He uses the calling there. His tree is still alive. Ulnit goes for the ulti, and that's gonna be so much damage to Boom. Malrine gets 2 smacks at Zantek. He does have the shield, not any longer. Ulnit, can he survive this one? 2 stick charges. He has
Yes,
the
he
strength
does.
shreds. He is completely fine. The Fury is there at Zantek. He's so afraid that they're gonna be losing this Grand Finals 3-0. Narman in the vicinity. Maybe that's a target that you can bring down. And most definitely, while this was happening, Pantom was getting himself a nice healing Lotus. And then he was getting himself a 4th kill in this game. 4-0-3 for the Chain Protector. It does leave Zibe alone, who doesn't care one bit.
Does not at all. I mean, this is Boom has been forced into taking all of his points to do direct damage, so he doesn't actually deal that much damage right now, and that just means that
It means that the Zantek is dead, even though that makes no sense, but it is a cold hard fact that he'll be taken down. Calling silences him, and the stuns from the Shaker don't allow him to move, and they want more Boom. He has nowhere to go. What is he to do? The support is level 6. He's not even close to that. Team Tickles, last game, they were the ones that had the level 6s on the supports. Now, they don't have the level 6s on the cores.
and they are struggling to get their supports there as well. Like Dugalis gets his top lane right now, Narman gets a little bit of EXP in the mid, but in the meantime they are losing this bot tower on a lane where they started the trouble in the first place.
Malrine is gonna be so happy for going to Malta. I know every single time I've interviewed him, he was super happy when he was winning. He was saying, I love my team and stuff like that. Now he's gonna be loving them even more when they're playing beach volleyball.
Well, let's hope that they're not tasting the win yet as much as you are, because that is the kind of thing that mistakes and greedy plays are made of. But I gotta say, this kind of lead, especially when you know the enemy draft has several farm hills left to climb before they can do anything against you, yeah, that would give me confidence as well.
I'm just excited for Malta. It's such a cool prize for the end of the tournament, right? The prize pool is great, $50,000. It's amazing for 4 tournaments in a row that we had, because this is the 4th one. But that little thing that gives you a rest, plus it allows you to play Dota as well if you want, that just that is a win for me.
It's the kind of thing that mid-tier teams often, like, maybe they will provide a bootcamp for you at the org, but that's most likely going to be the cheapest thing that they can manage.
This
And
is the
this is going to
exclusive
be-
bootcamp.
Oh yeah,
Exclusive.
like the Intercontinental, right?
Yep,
That's TI level hotel right there.
for sure. Pantomime, he gets a tower, he's getting everything to go his way. He's the most farm support by far, looking to even overtake Boom, who was bullying him in the previous game. Malrine has the haste, has the blink dagger. Have you ever seen more mobility 12 minutes in? Very, very rarely.
Very early, yeah, he's just gonna high five his tower. He's feeling it, and you know, teams on the flanks of the map, gonna do something. He's I like the standoff between Malrine and Az there. Malrine waiting for his opponent to show his hand first. If Az enters the creep wave there, he would have been toast.
Yeah, for sure, it would have been destroyed in a second. Narman does have the Phantom's Embrace level 1, and we've seen so many times that the Grimstroke stops the Shaker combo, so maybe they wouldn't have been able to do so, but now Malrine in the smoke, he has help at Zantic Rolling Thunder, he knows that he would have died 100%. He's gonna get slapped, doesn't matter that you're in a Rolling Thunder, you are still going to die. Namiga and their positioning and their playstyle, it is just on another level here. 11-1, 3k goal lead, cruising through the grand final. If they win this one, it's gonna be a 5th game in a row that they have won versus Team Tickles, showing that they're definitely a much better team at the moment.
Absolutely. And it's only escalating. Like the first map looked close, but as the series has continued, this has just gotten worse and worse for Team Tickles. They're now going to get their what little stacks they had taken away as well.
Oh, they're just getting destroyed, Tickles. What is their play, Kips? Come on, give us what are they to do? Is it all on the Medusa now?
It can't be on the Medusa this early. It cannot.
okay.
You're like the Fusel Blade is still going to pack a punch, but you need to get it. And the problem is that you have no heroes to throw under the bus to make sure you guaranteed get that Diffusal Blade. So Az is constantly showing this. Right now, if you have a Beastmaster or something like that, he could be pushing the bottom tower. But boom, bad laning stage, not confident, cannot show on the map, and it means that Az is constantly getting hunted.
And this is all pre-Helm of the Overlord. It is not even the timing for Nemiga for them to be overtaking everything. And they are. Currently, Team Tickles are doing a good job at dodging this Blink Dagger of the Shaker, but it is costing them so much farm on the map.
Exactly. You need to let the waves come in so much more further to make sure that people can actually back you up if you ever get dove under tower. As opposed to, of course, not getting dove at all, you're just out there and you get murderized.
I really like this aggressive vision here. It will allow you to get some really clean kills. As Team Tickles, they're probably going to be a little bit more careless on the bottom lane. It's just how it goes. The Overgrowth used and Malrine coming in with one swap. The Aghanim Shard on the Grimstroke, he won't have it at 15 minutes in the game. It's a long
That's
time since I've
rare,
seen
isn't
this.
it?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
very rare.
Everybody rushes that, but it's available. He does not have the money. And his Murder is just putting casual pot shots into their bottom tier 2 at 15 minutes.
So, you know, usually they say what is rare is also valuable. Well, I found the fluke in that logic. The Fiend's Grip will be onto the poor Timbersaw. Once again, Swashbuckle doing some damage to Malrine, but very nice fissure as well to keep him away. Hellscream might be going down. He's the only one that died in this game so far. Slow onto Ulnit. Swashbuckle, he's still alive and now uses the Brain Sap. That is a dead Azantic. He tried to go for a kill. He tried to go for it on the only hero that died so far on Amiga, but he is not going to be dying again. Hellscream is laughing so hard. This guy, he's never sad. I mean, I would be happy as well if I wasn't losing a single game in the tournament. Okay, one.
Absolutely ruthless, that man. Yeah, and I mean, he's correct. He needs to make the plays. He got the Diffusal Blade finally. That was an opportunity for his team, but he is too ready. Finger on the trigger, shoots himself in the foot instead.
You know those big matches, and then they're like in box or something. They're like the undisputed champion of the world. Yeah, well, the Nemiga are gonna be the undisputed champions of the Malta Vibes 4, as I cannot emphasize it anymore. This team only lost one game so far. It's looking like they're gonna be taking a grand final with a 3-0. And in what fashion? Kip's second game lasted for 23 minutes, and this one, it might even last less if they continue with this onslaught.
I mean, you said it before, that there was a possibility that they would be done before the original start time of this series. And that prophecy might just be fulfilling itself right now. Shad? Oh, my friend. You are in such a world of hurt.
He got slept. He is gonna get stunned. He got the ulti off. They're turning to stone. This might be the turning point in the game. Going for the Rolling Thunder. It's clumped up together, but it doesn't matter. The Overgrowth will be keeping Azantic away, going through all of them, doing some damage, but they are just standing their ground. They're so freaking strong at the moment, dealing with the couriers, dealing with the swarm. The Swashbuckle very strong, but now they have the Fiend's Grip still. Malrine is dropping low. He's gonna be stunning the Weaver. There's the dust, and there is no more Weaver as the bug has been swashed. The sleep will be there immediately. Narman has been woken up from a nightmare to an even worse situation, and the fear onto boom going forward, getting into the silence. He's dead. He only gets a triple kill. 18 minutes in, 20-1 complete destruction of Team Tickles, who cannot get a kill. They got only one for 18 minutes, Kips.
I know, and once again they were not really together for this fight, with Boom only coming in all the way at the end there, walking in from the side while the rest of his team was dying. If it feels hopeless, it's because Team Tickles is like projecting some real hopeless energy right now, and to be fair, if you were in their position, you probably would be too.
Yeah, I'm not blaming them. I'm projecting hopeless energy here as well, and I'm not losing the Dota game 20-1. Because I was hoping for at least 4 games in this.
Where are they going? They're
final.
going.
Yeah, they're going. They are gonna be killing the Bay. Let's go. The second kill, the third kill for them. They tripled their kills in such a small period of time. The Soulbind and the double science really coming in handy. The Amiga, they're still gonna be getting something on the map, but this is the start of a turnaround, Kips? Question mark?
I mean, definitely a necessary component of one. If it wouldn't have come now in the time that they're taking down the drones, they're just... Namiga are never going to stop holding hands anymore, so this was one of your last shots at actually getting a proper pick-off, and they nailed that one.
I have been longing for a team to GG out when the score is 3-22 or 22-3 for a very long time, and they would be real chads if that is what happens here. Though I doubt it will, because if Tickles are GGing out, it's because they got team wiped. But finally they got themselves a tower, so something going their way in this game.
I mean, you were not the only one who was looking at that number. I'm like, So that's a 3 and a 2 right there. Our means could be real.
It really could be. The side of Amiga, now they have a gem, so they want to be dewarding everything. They did pass a ward, but not close enough to it. Only though he now has the Aegis, so we'll be going for the push, and we all know how fast the Muerta can do so if there are no creeps in the vicinity.
Absolutely. A little
Bye-bye, tower.
extra attack speed as well from those drums. And I mean, we haven't even really talked about the Helm of the Overlord here, but this push never has to stop. Ever.
It's because the Helm of the Overlord is usually that turning point in the game.
Yeah.
Wasn't so in this one. Oh, smoke from Tickles. They're searching for the Shaker. Who's more patient, Kips?
I can't believe that it's going to be Maureen.
Oh, is it Malrine? Jumping away,
Yeah,
Rolling Thunder was used, the Xantic coming in, Linkswell is there, they're gonna try to kill him, the Silence will connect as well, running away for now, he needs some help, they need to remove all of those things from him, and with the added attack speed, we'll be able to do so. Time lapse was used, the Shaker gets himself to the high ground, and the Weaver will die. Malrine, he was in a defensive enough position to survive that. Team Tickles, their rotation just unsuccessful. We're only 1 kill away. We're 1 kill away, Kips.
1 kill away from the dream. Alright, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Boom right now?
Who dies?
Yes.
I'm gonna say the one that dies is gonna be a Weaver, the one that is dead right now.
Alright, Weaver again. So this shove here, you don't think any heroes of Tickles are gonna die? I guess they're going for it very, very straightforwardly, right? Unless Hellscream accidentally... No.
This is the thing. Everybody else was an easier guess than the Weaver. If I get this one right, I'm gonna be looking cool. So I just went with that.
I don't know, man. He's going to be moving forward. Right now, Shad?
He lost mana. Can he get the ulti off? Yeah, there it is, but he lost all of his mana, and he's actually gonna be the one that falls. Yolnit going in. He wants to destroy our dream, but we are enjoying the 22-3 at the moment. Boom, dropping low. Zibe doesn't have the roar any longer. The glyph will be used, but can you really defend your Raxus still? Because the Aegis is up for another minute and 30 seconds. As the overgrowth was used, and Boom will be taking down Malrine. Gets him with a long-range fissure from downtown. Malrine is just laughing his ass off. Look at that.
Yeah, this is a good time. You can, like at this point, muscle memory just takes over. When you're this far ahead, you don't really have to focus all that much anymore. Everybody has agency. It feels very good to make all your calls because you know you don't have to doubt about whether they're right or not. You know how strong you are. And you're cruising right to the island.
I've played with some younger people in teams in the past, and I know exactly what they're talking about. Like, oh, imagine all of those girls in Malta. Yeah, let's go. I'm 100% certain that's what they're going for. Yolnit, what's with that attack speed? He just destroyed the poor Pango. Yeah, I know, Kips, there's nothing to analyze, no problem.
No.
We're just gonna be talking. They're killing the Raxes, they're winning the game, they're getting the 22,000 gold lead. Kips has nothing to say right now, as really, there is nothing to say. Team Tickles, completely helpless. The roar will be used. This is just looking like taking candy from a baby. The thing is that candy is worth $22,000 and a trip to Malta as well. Namiga, they are celebrating tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look at them. That is fantastic. They are having such a fantastic game right now, and especially you got yourself a new carry on board on a lineup that's been working together for quite a long time to get some successes like this. And look, the corners of his mouth are up. They're up. Yes, yes.
Zibe smiled. He smiled, and we have our champions, Zulnit, Malrine, Zibe, Hellscream, and Pantomime. They are representing Namiga Gaming, who did win this tournament, losing only one game to in the process. Level Up were the ones that took it from them. They won $22,000 and a trip to Malta, 5-star hotel, exclusive bootcamp. We'll see when they use it. Hopefully, they're gonna have an awesome time. But having as good of a time as they had in this best of 5 grand finals, I don't know if you replicate this easy.
No, I don't think so. Absolutely not. And Namiga, I thought I was buying into my own narrative here that they got it a little easy on the road up here. Like, sure, they had a great group stage, but after that, Marsbet instead of Nouns, that must have been like, a lucky matchup for them. And then they get Moneymakers who fluked their way past Luna Galaxy, right? So surely their strength, surely my co-caster here was overestimating it when he said 3-0, and let that be a lesson to you. If you're working together with somebody for a long time and they insist that hard when they never ever do, then maybe they're onto something, because that was a phenomenal run from Namiga.
Yeah, Kips, you didn't listen to me. Even though we have the same hair here, you still didn't believe. I believed in Namiga. They looked amazing in this tournament. They really did play great Dota, and they were the best team. This is by far the most one-sided Malta Vibes tournament that we have had, and I have no doubt that they are the undisputed champions, right? There is nobody that comes even close to them in power at the moment that was a part of this tournament. Maybe Nouns, but they didn't show it, and they had obviously some ping issues, but we're not going to be making excuses. So Kips,
Exactly.
That's it for the tournament. Did you have fun casting with me? We didn't have too many games, a lot of 2-0s.
No, a lot of 2-0s, but I think a lot of good Dota played in those 2-0s, and a lot of, I want to say, like, fun chess games towards the tail end of like the PA Sven TA patch, where if it continues like this, maybe these finals have set the tone for the meta that we're going to be seeing very soon at TI. One can always hope. I've certainly enjoyed getting to cast the last of the regular season before we go to the big one. So thank you very much for having me on board, as always.
Also, I would like to thank you, our colleagues as well. But of course, our sponsors, they've been with us all this time. 10GG, Pinnacle, and Gaming Malta. They made this happen. This was the 4th iteration of this tournament, and they're the only reason why we could have this one. Of course, you should follow Pinnacle Esports, Eden Esports on Twitter. Follow Kips, follow me, as we might have some future tournaments as well. But we'll be seeing if that does happen. Of course, the next tournament all of you guys are gonna be watching is TI, and hopefully you are gonna be enjoying even more great Dota. That is it from us, Kips. Any last words for our wonderful viewers at home, who also definitely the reason that we're all here?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been just really good getting to put on these shows for you. And I hope you guys have been enjoying it just as much as we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Our tournament will come to an end. But what never comes to an end is summer in Malta. So hopefully, just like our players, like our winners, you're going to be visiting it at some point. But for now, we are just going to be waving you goodbye as we finally bring this series of tournaments to the end.
Oh, esport. You and I have come a long way. It was such humble beginnings. As we gathered in small groups, we were professionals right from the start. Passionate, organized, and ready to rumble. We dreamed big, and surely enough, our parents supported us at every step of the way. Didn't they? Fired up by all this love, It wasn't long until we caught the scent of competition. To be honest with you, it wasn't always that easy. Joe here, he had to take on 2 side jobs to afford playing professionally. It's gonna get better, Joe. Fist bump. And some of you dared to not even call this a sport. And look where we are today. An endless stream of esports events every year. Bet you didn't see that coming, Mom and Dad. And you know what? We have been with you every single step of the way. Go on, go back. That's it. That's better. Keep going. Let's bring that down here. No. Keep going. Go. Roll. And cut. Cut the thing. I'm going. Where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, come back. Guys, ladies. I don't know if that's correct. No.
Dream of working with people you watch on screen. Exclusive esports opportunities handpicked just for you. Candidate profile to raise above competition. Let 10GG handle routines. Make a step towards your dream today.
All the books we've closed, words just come together, story that we never told. So very shaken for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. For our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. I'll be your captain. I'll always be your captain. I'll always be your captain. You told me I'm your anchor. I told you you're my bone. Through the wind and fire, we tried. Hold on. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words that come together, story that we never told. So very shaken for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. For our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. Be your captain. I'll always be your captain.